Man run up a check, and I can't want text me now. Come and have some sex now. I know some girl that will slide for me. Are you really gonna ride for me? I real one inside, blowing through time. Money, power, respect. Man run up a check, and I can't want text me now. Come and have some sex now. I know some girl that will slide for me. Are you really gonna ride for me? I real one inside, blowing through time. Go with the road, go with the road, go with the road, girl. Strike for your post, strike for your post, strike for your post, girl. Go with the road, go with the road, go with the road, girl. Strike for your post, strike for your post, strike for your. Oh, your body shape good, and you know for that good. You know for climb on body, and ride like jockey. You know for tell nobody, or you might call me daddy. If you never tell nobody, or you might call me daddy. I'm a phone in a ring, and the man will call me a top to dance me a fling. I know some me bad for me born is a dancer thing. And the man them call me a top to dance me a fling. I know some me bad for me born is a dancer thing. Man run up a jet, and I can't want text me now. Come and have some sex now. I know some girl that will slide for me. Are you really gonna ride for me? I real one inside, blowing through time. Money, power, respect. Man run up a jet, and I can't want text me now. Come and have some sex now. I know some girl that will slide for me. Are you really gonna ride for me? A real one inside, blowing through time. What type of thing is? Greatness you with is fine and touch. Can not for drive on top. She not for ride and stop. When I'm for life out that. Boring girl not for life and back. But which one of them I like us? All the people them put up their life. Switch up. Every single dance get lit up. Flow and style with me, you know. Waste my time in a inner. Enough girl with the rum and figure. Just make sure you're under your liquor. Can't press my button, press trigger. I'm in on some real new driller. But step up in a black light ninja. Come find you with a new thing.
Hey, you know what, fam? I've got my glasses as well, you know.
Guess which one the remedies? Guess which one the remedies?
I'm saying for a couple more to join.
Enough getting tough for the scene. I respect. Man run up a jet, and they can't want text me now. Come and have some sex now. I know some girl that will slide for me. Are you really gonna ride for me? I real one inside, blowing through time. Money, power, respect. Man run up a jet, and they can't want text me now. Come and have some sex now. I know some girl that will slide for me. Are you really gonna ride for me? I real one inside, blowing through time.
Hey, where's Vic? Vic, you in there? If you're in there, send a request, bro.
Checkers again, yeah. Say for wifey again.
If you're in there, Vic, send a request, bro.
Yeah. For me, drop senseless, every girl I want, but oh, girl in uni, so she wants to be man.
Oh, Scars, that's Shaki Dread, Bastille still.
So me tell you about the girlie and the friend. He said, yeah, cause you're so different. Girl, me love your body magnificent. Coffee put you on the tally, Natalie, your back fi bent. For me see you in the corner, and you are axe tush. Then me have to strap kush, roll it with the big blend. Girl, me want you, my brother want your thick friend. Nice feeling. Baby girl, I want non-stop, love the liquor when she up. Say she wanna come to her, give me when she up. I'm your boyfriend, I'll give her when she want.
Man, like,
My man.
Lizzie Nye.
My man. What's going on, bro?
Man? You alright?
You good?
Yeah. I'm calm. Just at my mum's today.
Oh, just chilling, yeah? What do you think of Boris's message?
Did I even listen? Did I even watch that thing?
You didn't watch?
No, I didn't watch, man.
you didn't watch?
I didn't watch, bro.
Why not, bro?
Fam, me and politics, man, it's just, I don't know. With Boris to me is just a puppet, isn't it? It's all like his advisors and all these other people in suits that are calling all the shots, isn't it? And he's just going out there, he's just taking orders, you know what I'm saying? So, I feel like I've done enough research on this whole situation of whatever it is that's going on, like, to know what's really, or at least close to what's really going on, do you know what I mean? So, a lot of the stuff that they come up with on the media is just like, even like when you look at the campaign now, they've all switched up the PR campaign, you know, from Save Lives and all that stuff to, what is it, Stay Alert. And it's just like, this is just one big PR marketing thing. It's just, fam. I've just stayed off of media. I've stayed off of all of it, man. And that's why I've been happy, but I don't feel like I'm in a quarantine or nothing. You know what I mean? I've just been living my life.
Just been still doing your thing.
Been still doing my thing normal. Like when you go outside, it's completely different to what you see what's on the TV. You know what I mean? Like you go outside, everyone's happy, fam. People are out there enjoying their lives, you know what I mean? Like getting on with life, man. But then when you stay glued to the TV and stuff, it's miserable, man. Like, you know what I mean? So, but I know we didn't come here to talk about
We didn't come to that. And obviously, people are probably thinking, bro, what's wrong with these like coming with this politics talk? It's not a politics team. You get me? Anyway, bro, Victizzle.
Yes.
Producer, engineer, songwriter, the whole shebang. We love some rhythms that you produced, man, lately, man. I'll help you out.
Yeah, help me out, bro. I forget, fam.
Definitely the Chip Behind Bars link up freestyle, which was sick. Yeah. I didn't even know that myself until the other day. I didn't. I swear, I didn't even know it until the other day. Till I started actually going into it and starting reading what's really going on behind. You know what I'm saying? But co-production, Miss Banks's Bad Bebop.
Yeah.
Sick.
What's it? Yeah, there's a few out there right now.
Gracious K's Just Flex.
Thing literally just came out. It's doing a couple bits, man.
Yeah, I like that song still.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Gracious K's a legend. If you don't know about him, I said, if you don't know about Gracious K, yo, the man, they're legends.
That's my guy. That's my guy, man. That's my brother.
I'm saying, and
obviously together for like 2 years now, isn't it? just churning out music, man. Churning out.
Yeah. Sick, man. On top of that, obviously recording and engineering as well. You obviously do that side of things as well.
Yeah. But I also like train and like build up a lot of like engineers as well. So it's not just like some of the stuff you think that I probably engineered. It's not just me. It will be like I got an engineer called Cez. There's Timmy Banks. We've got a new guy called Ro9. And I get them. To, I'm saying I teach them. I show them like everything that I know, and they just fly, man. They just take on like Timmy's been doing a lot of like Miss Banks' stuff.
I've been seeing.
Cez is a wicked producer, man, and he's a sick engineer, and he's just been recording a lot of like the clients that we have come through. He's been mixing a lot, and Ro9 as well, dope guy, man. He's worked with J5, like coming, and yeah, he's just there's a whole team that we're building. It's not just, that's the thing about me, is like I've done everything that I can do and I've learned everything that I can learn. I'm still learning, but the whole point of it is to pass it down, you know what I'm saying, to the next generation and just build up a team, man, you know what I mean? Like, and get them into it from early, do you know what I mean? So that it's like there's a quote that I read the other day that leaders create leaders, isn't it? You don't want to create people that are dependent on you. You want to create people that are, you know what I'm saying, is become leaders kind of thing. So
100%.
That's what we're building. Yeah, man.
100%. And bro, I love it. I'm not somebody that's just, all right, cool, yeah, Victizzle, let me reach out to him and get a bit. This is stuff that I've seen firsthand. Like I've seen you know what I'm saying, how you mold your new engineers coming through, and bro, it's so sick to see. I can't even lie. Like, yo, like not a lot of people in your position are doing that as well. Do you get what I mean? Where they know a lot, they've been in the game a long time, and you're able to then obviously still bring through young engineers who are hungry and ready to learn, and you're busting it. I've seen that firsthand, which is incredible to see. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, man. So
man.
And then obviously, you know, this your first studio is obviously based in Bolt, East London, but you obviously started this project with the new and bigger studio, which is not too far away. Just talk about that.
Yeah, man. So I think it's been in the works for like a year now, isn't it? That's just just loads of back and forth and stuff with like building managers and all that stuff. Yeah. But it's finally landing. Hopefully July should be ready, and the studio is like 3 times bigger than our current studio at the moment. Like, but we're gonna continue like the same DNA, man, the same like ethos. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like working with people like we work with all levels. You know what I'm saying? Like beginners, intermediates, and experts. Do you know what I'm saying? But we're really about focusing on the beginners. You know what I'm saying? Up and coming, but we want them to feel like we want them to step into a studio that just looks in. You know what I'm saying? Just like quality, high level. You get me? But they're at a beginner stage, and it's our job to build them up, build up these artists, build up these writers and these engineers and producers, build them to just get to that level. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what we're really about, man. Like making it affordable to them as well. You know, like you want, you know, someone, any regular person from your neighborhood that has some level of talent and drive. I'm saying that we can work with and literally just build them up and just send them out into the industry. You know what I'm saying?
So just on a wider thing, is that what you're kind of working at the moment? Because I'm sure there's some young producers in here that obviously is absorbing this information, of course. So you've done it many times before with obviously other engineers, other producers, and bust them on work that's obviously came to you, which you've now built them up to be able to
handle that,
to handle that, rather than you being able to, you always having to handle it directly, where you built people up for them to come through and obviously handle it instead of you. So this is what you're doing with the new project. You're trying to get new up and coming producers, writers, and
man, more new engineers, more new. You know what it was really about? It's really about building a community. Like I think that's one thing that we don't focus on enough, especially with Black people. Like we're community based, but it's like our unity levels isn't as strong as they should be, especially in like times like this. You feel me? So I think one thing I really wanted to do, or I'm already doing when I think about it, but I want to do on a bigger scale, is just build a community. Like we do things like games, like video games, like, you know what I'm saying, where everyone just comes, man. Everyone just comes through.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah.
They're so
even I wanted to come for them games night still, bro. You get me? No, it's sick, and that's what I was gonna go on to next. In terms of, you don't just do that. You obviously do, like you do podcasts as well that you do there.
Yeah.
You do the studio talk. I have seen the one with Ariel, actually. That was actually quite cool.
Yeah. I need to bring that back, actually.
Is Ariel in here? She might be in here. Which is good as well. So for me, it's just, you're not just being a typical producer, you're doing other things. As I said, I know you allow people to shoot videos there as well.
Yeah.
Voiceovers. I know you do voiceovers for who?
Huh?
You do voiceovers for who?
Who do I do voiceovers for? We do voiceovers.
Oh yes, Ariel. You're there.
Is Ariel there?
Yeah, she's there. Or voiceovers.
We've had people come and do voiceovers for like BBC. We've had people coming for like video games. What else? Just all different kinds of like different kinds of industries. Like we forget that studios ain't just for like music. You know what I mean? It's sound. Maybe to do with sound, audio. Like that's really what it's about. You know what I mean? But I want to make it more than just that. I'm trying to make it much more purposeful. You know, like I'm trying to make it much more community based, much more like building based as well. Like where we build. You know what I'm saying? Character. We build characters. We build
100%.
You know, 100%. Careers. We build jobs for people. We build lifestyles, like positive. You know what I'm saying? So that's
100%. Guys, anyone asking questions? Yeah, I'm gonna open up the questions a bit later. Well, not a bit later, but when I'm finished having this conversation. So any questions, you can have them ready for the big man himself. But yeah, in terms of young producers coming up, young writers, young engineers, what's the best advice you feel like you can give to any young producers and engineers coming up? What's the best advice you can give?
If I'm honest, the best advice I can give is just to study, man. Study your craft. I don't think we do enough of that. Like, and we don't do enough of independent study as well. Like, I feel like a lot of young people come to me and just like, oh, Vic, like, you know, if I want to become an engineer, like, how do I this, that, and the other? I'm just like, bro, you're lucky. Like, you've got YouTube, you've got all of these things there. You understand? If you really want to become an engineer, you wouldn't come and ask me this question. I know that sounds like arrogant and crazy, but it's really not. Like, if you really want to do something, if you want to be something, I'm saying you'll start working on it. Like, you will find ways to You feel me? And when you get to a certain level, that's when you'll start. All right, Vic, I'm at this level of engineering. How do I get to this level? Da-da-da. But a lot of them haven't even started the basic work. Like, focus on your craft, man. Build your stuff. If you really want to do it, don't do it for the money, man. Like, do it for the love. That's the most important thing first. The money chases, like, when you have a purpose, money chases purpose. Don't chase money. Because if you chase money, it runs from you.
Old school saying.
Yeah, it's real. Like, if you attract purpose, focus on your purpose, focus on you, building yourself, building your craft. And yeah, it does take time. It's fine. Like, don't be such a rush. Like, it's supposed to take time. You know what I'm saying? But if you focus on that, money chases purpose. Money chases. You don't have to, you know what I mean? So focus on your craft. If it's engineering, go and study. If you want to enroll yourself in a college, engineering college, stack up the money, go do it. Do you understand? Or go straight on YouTube. There's hella videos, tons of videos.
Hella videos.
There's books, everything. Get your head in them books, get your head in them videos, and study that thing. You know what I mean? Get better at it. Like, grow, be the best that you can be, man. And then you'll start to attract people. You know what I'm saying, like the right people to come into your life. That will
Facts.
You feel me? So
facts.
the best advice I can honestly give.
Yeah, big up for that, man. Okay, guys, any questions? Fire them, and I'll ask them. In the meantime, so in terms of people want to reach out to you, what's the best way? Insta, website, what we saying?
Boy, not my phone, boy. Cause my phone stay on do not disturb. So
too busy. Too busy. Hotline. I'm surprised you even
my sanity, bro. Huh?
I'm surprised you even still reply to me, bro. You get me? I see what's
going on. I was like, oh yeah, let me call you back.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know if I can get through to you these days, bro. You get me? I'm accessible still. I'm a bit too accessible. I think that's my problem. But hit me up on my Insta or the studio as well. Vic's Mix Studios on the Insta or the website. If you want to book sessions, VixMixStudios.com. That's VIXMIX Studios.com. Yeah. I'm just typing this right now. Anyone wants to hit up my guy, hit him up. Take a screenshot of that. It's in the comments now, guys. Website, all of that. Can book it.
Sick.
Yeah. And then we're there, man. But Vic, it's been a pleasure, bro.
Always, man.
Appreciate
When am I gonna see you again? I don't see you in the studio no more. I'm gonna see.
When are you gonna see me again? Bro, you know what it is, man.
Engineer.
Nah. I do it now and then, bro. I do it now and then, but more time, I just can't be asked. I'm not too busy for that. Anyone who actually knows me, very personally knows, I just can't be asked. Question. You already know, as an up-and-coming producer, how do you start monetizing off your beats? What if you charge up front, but then your beat blows and goes platinum? Good question, Shucks.
That's a good question. Still.
As an up-and-coming producer,
how do you monetize off a beat? If you charge, what?
What if you charge up front, but then your beat blows and goes platinum?
You know what's crazy, yeah? Like, well, even if your beat blows and goes platinum, you're still entitled to your publishing, which is like
100%. So
yeah, so that's really what you want to hold on to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
Your one-off payment is really just an advance. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not gonna feed you in the long run. What's really gonna feed you in the long run is your publishing. You know what I'm saying? More time, if it's just you and the artist, then you're entitled. That's 50% because you're 50% of the song. You feel me? So that's really what you wanna focus on is your residuals. A lot of people can do beats for like free, you know what I'm saying? And then when the song blows, they're making that money like off of their publishing, off their residuals. You feel me? That's money for life. That's really what you want to focus on. Like, that's not to say I'm saying go and do beats for free, because you do have to know your worth at the end of the day, and it is work. You feel me? You're getting paid for that for the time used to make that beat and create and etc. But then your entitlement is the publishing.
100%.
Your PRS, PPL, all that stuff. So that's really what you want to focus on. In terms of the money side of things, you know what I mean?
I hope that answers your question. So even though if you charge up front for a beat, £200, whatever, if that song blows, you're still going to get 50% royalties. from the publishing side anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you should. Other question: how hard is it to keep the studio running financially when people are able to record at home? Good question.
That's a very, very good question. You know, very good question. I think the thing is with recording at home, because that's how I started. I started when I was like 15, 16, recording at home. I'm literally in the bedroom now. where it all began. That's where it all began, innit? But over time, what I've realized is quality, man. Like, there's a quality you can't get. You can get at home, because I learned how to kind of, you know, engineer it and get it to the point, as best as I possibly could. But I think the thing is with recording at home, yeah, there's a feel that you don't get, that you like more time you can get in the studio around other people. Plus, you have someone, you don't have to focus on yourself no more. When someone else is recording you, that's someone that's seasoned. You know what I'm saying? That's just levels, and they're recording you. Like, you're basically taking on their guidance and their wisdom to get the song to how can I put it, to like a quality level, isn't it? Like a sick level. When you're recording yourself at home, you're focusing on too many things. You're focusing on, hit record, run to the microphone, do this, do you know what I'm saying? You can't really perform. But when you're in the studio and you're under someone that's, you know what I'm saying, that's a master at what they do, you don't have to worry about hitting a record button or all those other little intricacies. Like, all you gotta focus on is just performing. So that's not to say recording at home is bad. It's not bad. I just think that when you're under someone else that can guide you properly, they know best how to bring out the best in you. I think that is you're on a better way to quality. 100 quality work.
Hope that answers the questions. You asked. A couple more. What's the process for being a writer in your team?
What's the process for being a writer in my team?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and interpret it. I don't. If that means that someone's a writer, how can they join the team or
you know what? Yeah. No. You know what I look for? Before, I really used to look for, like, I used to focus on talent, and I still do. Don't get me wrong. I think more now, as I've grown older, grown a bit more wiser, gained more understanding. I look more for character, you know. Like, I look more for good character and hunger. Like, I look more for, you know what I'm saying, just a good person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of talented people, man, but a lot of them, let me not say a lot. Yeah, a lot of their characters stink, fam. You can't trust them. They don't want to be on time for sessions, or they won't answer their phone. You know what I'm saying? That's just stupid things. Like, character, man. That's what's going to get you through. That's what it's going to keep you.
We've been there.
Trust me, you know.
We've been there. Last one, Mango's work. Yeah, hit up. Vic will get back to you on DM. Zaina, how long have you been an engineer and how did you get into it?
So I started off as like making beats when I was like 13, 14, and then I just decided, I think when I was like 15, 16, I just decided to get like a microphone, sound card, and all of that, you know, all of that stuff, speakers, headphones, just for my bedroom, and I just learned to start recording. I think because there was no one that I used to, like, growing up, I used to listen to like a lot of the best producers, like Timbaland, Darkchild, the Neptunes, like some of the top producers. So I understood quality from early, like the highest quality. I understood that and I valued it from early. So there was times where, you know, I just started producing and I'll send my stuff to someone to mix, and they'll just, excuse my French, they'll just F up the mix, like, and I'm like, what's this? Like, I was vexed, you know what I'm saying? So then that forced me to just like, you know, let me learn this thing myself. So from there, I just started studying and started learning it, man. Yeah, from there, literally. So I've been doing it a very, very long time.
Okay, man. It shows in your work, man. Right, cool. Last one, man, because time is going on, guys. As predicted, let me go see what's going on. What's the best way to make contacts?
To make what? Contact?
To make contacts.
Contacts.
Contacts, Ethan, Austin.
Well,
Don't know if you might want to reword that. We'll answer another one in the meantime. You can put it in the comments. How do I propose my music to be listened to? Gospel, Mango's work.
How do I what?
How do I propose my music to be listened to?
How do I propose my music to be listened to?
Gospel. I'm a new gospel artist. Who can I get listened? Bro, your English is bad. Bad.
You know. I think the issue is here. Yeah, like a lot of people just want to get noticed. Like you gotta ask yourself why are you chasing? Why do you want to get noticed? If there was no industry, would you still make music? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you really love music? Like, you have to get to the point where you love music so much that even if it's just one person that listens to it and it, you know what I mean, you're satisfied, you're happy. I feel like a lot of people just want to blow. Like, I hear it all the time. Maybe it's just me. I come from a different era, but I hear it all the time. Everyone just wants to blow. That's all. They started making music yesterday, and that's the first thing they want to know. How do I get music out there?
Yesterday? My God.
Bro.
My God.
Bam, you need to love music, man, to the point where even if no one hears your music, you don't care. You love your music. You get me? Once you get to that point in life, it might take you a while, but once you get to that point in life, that's when things actually start happening. You know what I'm saying? Just love your music, man. Build your music. Create your music. Just keep doing it. Like, don't worry. Do it in the shadows for as long as possible until, you know, it just naturally gets out there. Yeah.
100.
Don't chase trying to get it out there. Trust me, you're chasing. It's like chasing your own tail. It's long. It's very long. You'll get frustrated, and then you'll want to quit music because it's not. You know what I'm saying? You're losing the passion for it. You feel me? So I think just love your music, man. Just keep creating, keep building it, and eventually it will get out there. Naturally, it will just happen.
Come on, man. All right, Vic, man. Big up, man.
Yes.
Big up the time, bro.
I love what you're doing, bro. This is sick still.
Yeah, man. I'm going to hopefully do another one on Wednesday, man. Not going to reveal who's on there Wednesday, but we're trying to do another one on Wednesday. Another one. You know what I'm saying? Got off my people, man. But yeah, Vic, big up, man. Yeah?
Love, man.
Love, man.
All right, G.
Yes, guys. First brother come true. Sorry if I didn't get all your questions, man. Time was going on. Yo, AJ, where you there, man? Where you there? Comment or send me a request, bro. AJ, comment or send me a request.
To the left now. If you wanna eat it, no pressure. Only do praise, don't test ya. Barmaid, give it umbrella. I'm tryna love you like a gangster. Baby, would you answer? I give you love, make I give it to you faster. Cause you're fucking with a gangster. That's my base. I'm tryna give it to you, come my way. You know I'm a bad girl, I'll show you my ways. To the location, I put it in ways. Forever.
Let me see this.
Put you my channel. I'm like, hey, you know, hey, you looking kinda nice, you know. Got me feeling your vibe, you know. Baby, don't be shy, you know, yeah. I'm like, hey, you know, hey, you looking kinda nice, you know. Got me feeling your vibe, you know. Baby, don't be shy, you know, yeah. I beg you, baby, kick it to the left now. If you wanna eat it, no pressure. Only do praise, don't test ya. Barmaid, give it umbrella. I'm tryna love you like a gangster. Baby, would you answer? I give you love, make I give it to you faster. Cause you fucking with a gangster. You see my dark shades on like I can't see you. They know I'm an anti-you. You said the whole black range tints and windows. Down in the AJproductions. Girl, take control. Wind up your waist and your toe piece. So babe, I'm choosing. Nah. Look at the face, that's beauty. Baby, your waist is guilty. Darling, don't get your money, I'm a hustler. Rolling with me, you go prosper. I'll be your sponsor. Tell me what you want, girl. No more me. Now we stick the love stuff. Oh, no. I be like a king, but I fuck you like a mobster. Oh, no. But she will never let go now. Cause I got that special love. I beg you, baby, kick it to the left now. If you wanna eat it, no pressure. Only do praise, don't test ya. Barmaid, umbrella. I'm tryna worry like a gangster. Baby, would you answer?
Yo, AJ, send a request, bro.
We gon' live for best life, best life. I beg you, baby, kick it to the left now. If you pull it, you get no pressure. Only do things, no Tesla. But when you keep it umbrella. I'm tryna love you like a gangster. Baby, would you answer?
Yo, man, my brother.
Yo, bro, evening. How are you?
Evening, brother. Evening. You good?
I'm good, bro. Just working in the studio at the moment.
As always.
Come on.
As always.
Come on, bro. How are you?
Yes, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. It's a bit late start, but we're here.
I hear you, bro. I hear you.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Firstly, for those of you that don't know, AJ obviously produced Gangster. That obviously went silver, absolutely mashed up the scene when it first come out.
Come on, bro.
How old are you?
I'm 18 years of age still. I'm 18.
18. How many records under your belt already, man?
No, I'm not taking it off.
Tell me how the Gangster record came around, man.
Well, me and Darko we were signed to this a management called RSM.
Yeah.
In 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So we were already kind of friends. One day she was like, "Oh, she needs a producer that can play piano." So I shouted her and I was like, "Yo, let's get in." You know what I'm saying? So we already knew each other before the day.
Oh, okay.
And it was September 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 29th of September. So we linked up. We were at the studio. Everything was cool. Do you know what? We never had anything on our minds like charts or blowing or anything like that. We just said, let's make good music. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We had no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I just started off the beat. She came up with that. I beg you, baby, kick it straight away. It was so natural.
Yeah.
Organic. Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, man. Sick, man. So do you normally like work with artists in the studio, or do you prefer to send beats? Like, obviously producers work different. Some prefer to just, send beats, or some prefer to build a beat with an artist. How do you prefer to work?
For artists that are too far away, or for artists that I can't do sessions with, I just send them beats. But I prefer working in the studio together because it's more organic, and it's like the vocals blend in with the instrument more because I'm building a beat to what I'm receiving from the artist. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a vibe. That's what I prefer doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
More better to build with them and build to kind of what their preferences. You prefer that?
Yeah, bro. That's what I prefer still.
Rather than doing it the other way around.
Trust me, bro.
Yeah, man. Okay, cool, man. So currently signed to BMG. Big up.
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
Got a couple of mentions from there. Big up.
Big up BMG. They're good. They're a very good label. Very good.
Yeah, they're looking after you.
I'm so happy I chose them, No offense to Sony, all of you guys are good. But from what I've seen, BMG are the best.
I don't know if I'm Sony ATVs in here at the moment, so you're good. But it's good that they're looking after you, man. So in terms of other records that you've produced, obviously D Block Europe, Set in Stone, off the Street Trauma tape, that's obviously gone top 10 as well. Co-production on the new KSI, Tion Wayne and Swamp record.
Yeah, bro.
Top 10 again.
Yeah, bro.
How about, tell us about that, man. Tell us.
It's quite a good start. It's a good experience, and I feel like God has blessed me, and it's a mixture of God. It's a mixture of God blessing me and a mixture of my hard work. You know what I'm trying to say? Because no one ever sees the sleepless nights. Everyone just sees, oh wow, this guy's young and he's doing this. But I've been working. I've been putting in lots of work. You know what I'm trying to say? Like everyone used to say, oh no, just stick with school and that. My mom used to say that. But I said, no, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna be successful. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's all about the mindset. If I tell you, yeah, I put £0 into this. I only got my first laptop a couple months ago. You know what I'm trying to say?
And man's
So
got
it's
3
not about
months.
you know what I'm
on.
yeah, just the hard work. But yeah, I'm happy about the top
But
tens and this and that. But I want more.
can't complain.
Trying to
You
say,
got more in it.
I
You're
want more.
hungry.
I'm
You
hungry,
got
bro.
more. Yes, yes, my bro. Because that leads on to what I'll say next in terms of you go on live often.
Yeah.
What is your reasoning behind going on live often? I know, but I want
I'm
you to tell the people.
I'm trying to show people that behind the scenes, this is what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I don't want people to just be thinking, oh yeah, da, 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 da. And sometimes when I'm making some beats, I just think, oh, let me go on live and show people what I'm doing, or you know what I'm saying, inspire other producers that I have on my page. People ask me, oh, what sound do you use for that? What sound do you use for that? What's the beat you going? And then sometimes I tell other producers to join in the live, you know, collaborations.
Yeah, I see that.
When I see producers charging other producers for collaborations, I'm like, what? No, bro. We're working together. Do you know what I'm trying to say? If it's something I like, we'll just do it together. You know what I'm saying, bro? That's why I come on live. You know what I'm saying?
To obviously show people
Yeah.
that you're obviously working.
And obviously, it's quarantine, isn't it? Trying to entertain people. Keep active. Yeah.
Keep
Sorry,
it
I come
clean.
on now.
So in terms of obviously you're still quite young yourself, innit? So in terms of producers who are your age, maybe a little bit younger, maybe even a little bit older, what is the best advice that you can give them from somebody who only even got their own laptop the other day, had pretty much a lot of success pretty early in their career as well? What advice would you give to producers who were maybe in a similar position to yourself, maybe like 3, 4, 5 months ago? What advice can you give to them?
Well, first thing I say is there's no boundaries. Don't ever limit yourself. Like, oh look, that person's doing this. Oh, that person's doing this. Oh, I can't do it, man. You know what I'm trying to say? That kind of thing. Don't ever do that, because that's what I was thinking at first. Oh, that person's doing it. There's people that I speak to right now, yeah, that are working with certain people that I always went, oh my gosh, I want to work with that kind of person. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, don't rush. Don't rush.
Don't
rush. You know what I'm trying to say? That's one thing I've learned, because I was bare like, oh, I was on this DMing artist. Oh, I want to work with them. Now I'm in sessions with them, and they'll mention me, and they'll look up and they'll see, oh my gosh, this guy shot at me in 2019. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, bro? Everything has its timing. You know what I'm saying? Don't be upset because you're not getting your own now, because yours is gonna come in another time and it's gonna be double. Do you know what I'm trying to say, bro? On the producing side, practice makes perfect. A lot of people say that, but it's actually true. Practice makes perfect.
As in always in the studio, even if you ain't got sessions, always just practicing your production.
But some people say, if I'm in the studio all the time, I'm gonna play. It doesn't work like that. It takes one session. You know what I'm saying, bro? Some people can go into the studio one day and then boom, banger. Some people they'll go in the studio every single day, every 24/7, nothing. You know what I'm trying to say, bro? So yeah.
And how long before I go into it, anyone that wants to ask questions as well, fire them in the questions section.
Yeah, feel free to ask questions down below. I'll answer them still.
Yeah, and I'll try and sift through it. But in the meantime, so how long have you been doing it? When did you start? When did you start jumping on the keys? When did you start feeling like, boy, I want to jump on this production stuff? Like, tell me where it started, man.
So obviously, it's a long story, but I ended up looking for something to do to keep me occupied when I was young, instead of like going around and doing all that rubbish on the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I thought, what should I do? They offered me to do sports and they offered me music. So let me try music. The first day that I entered the studio, my jaw dropped and I was like, whoa. I fell in love with music straight from there, bro. Yeah, like. Wait, what was the question again?
As in, when did you start? Like, what age did you even start this?
Okay, first time I entered the studio, I was in year 8/9. But I started in year 10. So I was 15. 15 when I started making beats, and it was on Logic. I could play keyboard from church anyway, so I already had an idea.
Amen.
You
Amen.
know what I'm
Amen.
saying? I was playing keys from church, so that's when I started. And then in year 11, I was like, this is actually quite cool. Then in year 12, that's when I started producing songs. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I started with Logic at school. Then when I went home, I took my mom's laptop. I used to take my mom's laptop. My mom used to go, give me my laptop, child. Give me a laptop. You know what I'm saying? And I used to cry to my room.
Yeah,
Mom's not trying to let me, you know what I mean? Then in the night, I used to sneak downstairs and take my mom's laptop. And then I downloaded a crack for FL. That's when I started just working in the night. Like, I'll have GCSEs the next day. I'll be up 4 a.m. practicing making beats. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Blessing, man. It's a blessing. Yo,
yeah, bro. That's how I started.
Big. I answer the question. What other artists have you worked with or would like to work with?
Oh, that's how I worked with.
I
don't know if I should say, if I can say what artists I worked with, because I want to keep it as a secret. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe people that you've got that you probably can't reveal at the moment. So maybe we'll skip that bit. But maybe who from in the industry right now, UK wise, it makes sense to speak about UK wise. Obviously, would you like to work with? Who do you listen to? Who would you feel like I would like to get in this?
We're working on it, but like I love Young T and Bugsy's vibe. That their bounce. I feel like I've got their kind of, you know what I'm saying, style. The Young T and Bugsy. I'd like to get a song with Stormzy. Wait, can you? I can't actually think from the top of my head about artists. Can you name me something?
Yeah.
But then I can't say no. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but that's what I'm saying, and I'm trying to be careful with what I say as well, because behind the scenes, you could have worked with that person before. I don't want to give it away.
There.
So
there's no one on the top of my head. I want to work with everyone. Like I just want to work with everyone. Like I can do pop, trap, drill, afro, dancehall, anything you give to me, I'll do it. Anything you throw it to me, that would be dope if you. Yeah, anything you throw it to me, I can do. So any artist in the industry, I'll work with them. You know what I'm saying, bro? Without having a specific person.
And that's what I was gonna go on to next, in terms of how open are you in terms of collaborations, like in terms of not just co-production, but in terms of artists. Does an artist need to be at a certain level? Do they need to have got a certain amount of views, certain amount of streams? Like, where are you at in terms of artists who you work with? Or would like to work with?
You know,
some people are like...
For me to work with you, I have to see the vision. If I don't see the vision, then it's a bit mad. But like, you don't have to be 10 million followers before I want to work with him. That doesn't really move me, because some people, they have lots of followers and this and that, but I still don't really want to work with them. The talent, you get me? Because there's a specific artist that I'm working with at the moment. Yeah, I started with him when he had no followers, and now we're working together and we're building. He's getting hundreds of thousands of streams now, and he's on radio and everything. You know what I'm trying to say?
Sick.
You never know. It's not really about fame. It's about the talent. I'm trying to say.
Yeah, big up, man.
So I work with.
That's the answer we was looking for. Do you think the business gets in the way of the art?
What do you mean, like in terms of music? The business gets in the way of like the music.
The person who answered that, if you can just kind of maybe rephrase it a bit. But in terms of that, like, obviously some people, some producers, maybe can't work with you because my label and all them things there.
Oh yeah.
You know, so obviously everyone's situation is different, innit? Depending on what your label conditions are. Some people can't work outside of label projects. Some people can. So that's obviously a question that I can even throw at you. Wow, this person kind of rewords his question because it's kind of unclear. Do you think the business gets in the way of the art? But yeah, so in terms of that, how was it in terms of you working with, obviously, even artists that are not assigned? You know, like sometimes publishers only allow you to work with artists.
You know, it is. When I receive a DM or a message or call that someone wants to work with me, before I say anything, first I look at what they do, and I look at like what they've done or released before. Then, you know, if I like it, then I'll now show my team, and if they give me the go ahead, is they don't have to be signed to a label or anything. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, but I always have to make sure get the go ahead from my label or my management. You know what I'm trying to say, bro? Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. All right, bro. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, bro.
I appreciate it, and I'm gonna hit you obviously separately. About this. Maybe this one question: how would you cooperate with up and coming artists who's trying to get into the scene and does them being upcoming change the business side of things? Poor English, guys. Please, I beg. I beg.
I think it's the quarantine. They haven't been going to school. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness, that's my little cousin as well, bro. Your English is bad. Oh my god.
But I get what you're trying to say though, so it's not.
Anyway, that's my little cousin. So any questions, hit me and I'll let you know. Yeah. Anyway, AJ, bro, love for coming on.
Yo, sorry, I just got a call.
Yeah. All right, bro. Love for coming on though. Yeah. I'm gonna hit you back.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Speak to you soon, bro.
Love, man.
Come on.
Speak, bro. Cool.
Bye.
Damn, man. David, a wild one.
Yeah. Me want know who the fuck you think I deal with. Stiff cocky pussy copy make it screaming. Come and get your pussy once make her be feelings. And send me up to come back this evening. I know every girl in Fox.
Interludes and that. You hear me?
Come and get your pussy once make her be feelings. And send me up to come back this evening. Yeah, do your man girl, you come back, feet fuck that girl. Don't run, bend over, be fuck that. Touch your toes like so the soap that. Pussy wet up like so the boat that. Getting on every day. Turn around when you see this sticky day. Pussy clap like beast and eight. Yeah, the boom boom time. You better come free with it.
Why?
Tiny. Pussy are tighty, tighty. Boom tiny. I want to know who the fuck you think I deal with. Sweet cocky pussy copy make it screaming. Come and get your pussy once make her be feelings. And send me up to come back this evening. I know every guy fucks again.
Michael, what's going on, bro?
You good?
Yes.
Wow.
What's happening?
Not much, man. Just getting ready for another week at home.
Another week at home, man. What did you think about Boris? What did you think about the speech?
Like, what's he changing? Is he just going back to how it was in the beginning, or like, is anything gonna be different? You know, he just said a lot of words, and that was it.
I heard it's on limited exercise now.
That's different, yeah. Were you doing your hour a day?
Sometimes. I had to think about that one.
What, more or less?
Huh?
More or less?
What, the hour exercise?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, got to do my bit, man. Got to play. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, we're not here for that. Michael, bro, respected lawyer in this team.
Yeah.
From the firm Leon Thompson, whoever knows about those. huge roster. Obviously, we can't reveal who's on the roster for confidentiality purposes, but still respected in this thing. So, firstly, gonna get straight to it. How important is it to have a music lawyer in your corner, on your team, or someone who consults for you? Just how important is a music lawyer in this game? Please let us know.
Cool. So I think, to be honest with you, a music lawyer is one of the most important people in your team. And the reason for that is, obviously, you want to make your business the most valuable it can be. And I'd say that is the role of a music lawyer, which is basically making your business the best it can be, the most valuable it can be. And when you work on the talent side, like we do, the business is yourself, whether that's an artist, a producer, a songwriter, or a mixer, for example, right? And as your business, your product is essentially your talent, your creativity, right? And the underlying product there or asset is your rights, the rights that you own and control. And the way that we would then add value and make your business valuable is twofold, really. So the first step being protecting those rights. So making sure that you do or that you don't do bad deals that take your rights away, for example. And the second thing is by making sure when you want to exploit those rights, that you do that on the best possible terms. So basically trying to get you the best deals you can. Yeah. So, well, that's like, I'd say the primary function of a lawyer, but particularly in the music industry, when you're working with new artists, you know, music lawyers they're right in the industry, as you know, right? We're integrated, we know managers, we know labels. Yeah. So if you're, you know, it's another way in, basically. You know, for me personally, I don't understand why anybody wouldn't want a music lawyer.
I mean, you have to. I know the fear with most artists or producers or anyone in that field is the expense.
Yeah.
That it obviously costs as well. I know, you know, some people are afraid of the fees of what lawyers obviously put forward. You know, I can't, you know, especially if you're up and coming, and you know, you may get yourself into a label situation. It may not be a big label situation. It might be a small label situation where they're not even going to pay for your legal fees. So I think that's the fear as well.
Yeah.
We've all been there. I've been there. Don't be fooled. I've been there. You know, you go there.
What label wasn't paying your fees?
No, as in you getting in a situation that you want a music lawyer for, maybe even if it's just little things, but the cost, when they tell you the price, oh my God.
Who are you dealing with?
Let me not bait up nowhere out here. But anyway, so talking about that, I know it's difficult sometimes for artists or teams that are new, that when they get into situations or they need a music lawyer for, remember, people don't always go in situations via label. Some people get production deals that are just separate from a major, where majors may pay for your legal fees. But if somebody approaches you with a production deal or management or anything like that, they're not paying for your legal fees. So you, as obviously the actor or the team, have to pay for it. So that's why I can see why it does obviously get a bit difficult. So how do you guys deal with that?
Right. So I guess we'd probably be an exception to the experience that you might have had in the past, basically. So we completely understand new artists, like, they haven't got money. The whole point of this is you're trying to make a success of your career. So you're getting to the stage where you're making money and we can get paid legal fees, right? And hopefully you go above and beyond your record deal and your publishing deal and you're doing massive branding deals. You know, at that point in time, we're going to be the guys that you're using. So if we're going to ask you in the beginning for fees, you know, it's sort of the wrong foot to start a relationship off on. But by that same token, because we also understand at the beginning, basically, we understand that you might not necessarily have the money to pay for our fees. So the way we can do it is, you know, lawyers charge by the minute, basically. So we can put a clock on everything that we're required to do. But fingers crossed, again, in the early days, there shouldn't be that much technical work that you need actually doing. It's probably just advice or, you know, introductions to certain people, you know, things like that, things that don't actually cost money. But to the extent that we do need to do anything that costs money, we'll try and sort of keep it on the clock and come to an agreement that hopefully down the line, there's going to be that label deal you're signing, and the label's going to come in, or the publisher's going to come in, and they're going to pay off your legal fees. So, you know, that's what we do. But on the flip side, therefore, you've kind of got to be careful as to who it is you're working with. You've really got to believe that that person is talented and they are going to get to the point where they're generating money for themselves and therefore for your firm.
No, of course, you know, it's all about that at the end of the day, and that kind of leads me on to what I was going to say next, in terms of how do you guys pick your clients, in terms of like who you work with. And once again, probably heard me say it quite a few times today, but do they have to be at a certain level? Do they have to be, you know, maybe doing show, you know, streaming you know, views, where they're generating revenue, where you may be more willing to work with them because they are doing stuff in the industry already? Or is it just based on, because technically lawyers can be labeled as A&Rs at some,
Yeah.
you know, some people, you know, put it as, yeah, okay, yeah, A&Rs as well, because they have to listen and obviously believe. Most lawyers that you work with, they ask you to send them the music, we'll have a listen. They obviously do their research, you know, we know how lawyers work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to the original question, where you at in terms of who you take on, and how do you make a decision of, all right, this artist has approached us, or 5 artists has approached us, you know, can we take on all 5? Can we only take on 1? What's the sort of procedure do you go down?
So I guess speaking more like broadly, like team at a team kind of level, because we are very integrated in the industry. Sometimes clients come through us through A&Rs, for example, or certain managers. So you know, you're taking less of a gamble or a risk then, because they've got more of a team around them. And when it comes to new talent, really, like there's only a few few lawyers, I guess, who would proactively go out looking for people to bring in. And me personally, like, I love music, so that's what I do. Like, my spare time is listening to music. You know, so if I think someone's talented, I'm gonna reach out to you. I'm not like, I've not got any chip on my shoulder. Just, I'm approachable. Come and talk to me. I'm not even interested in fees, to be honest with you. I just like music, so it's exciting for me to try and just help people. Like, that's free. That doesn't cost anything. That's just a conversation. I'm here for really just making relationships, to be honest. But yeah, I guess as you get more and more established and work your way up, like, you know, you're not you become a lot more picky. You know, when you've got mega level talent, you're not necessarily interested in I don't know, the new artist that's asking you how they pay a producer, for example. You know. But
yeah, no, it's important, and I know that because you send me music to listen to. You're like, oh, bro, check this out, and I'm like, yo, yeah, like, do you get what I'm saying? So I know that obviously in your spare time, I mean, around the lawyer stuff as well, you have to be in and around it. You can't, you know, music lawyer, but you don't listen to music outside of your role. So it's definitely important. But I know that labels, obviously, or publishers actually approach you guys as well, because they know that, you know, what people don't realize, that lawyers are at the forefront of
someone's educated you, man, because half the time I'm trying to explain to people why you shouldn't be scared of trying to talk to a lawyer.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Anyone listen that thing here, my live might turn off now, actually, you know. In 1 minute and 55, it seems like my live's gonna go off, guys. If it goes off, I'm gonna come straight back. I think it does that every hour. But yeah, there's a minute and a half left. But yeah, like, yo, lawyers are the go-to people, guys. Don't be scared of the fees. You know, I know you guys been listening to what Mike was saying. You know, if it's not him, other lawyers, just, you need them in your corner, man. You need them in your corner, 100%. But in terms of anyone who's trying to come through, even as a music lawyer, what advice can you give to them? Like, how long have you even been doing this?
I'm coming up to 2 years in specifically music. I've been 5 years at my firm, and I was working in like film and TV before, and I was also part-time studying for the next part of your degree kind of thing, basically, to become a lawyer. And then I trained with the firm as well. So yeah, coming up to 2 years in music. Advice, you know, it's so generic, but basically there's a lot of people that think it's glamorous, like music sounds exciting. At the end of the day, you are still a lawyer. You know, you're still getting into that kind of thing. But make sure your reasons for trying to do this type of, or work in this type of industry like music, just make sure you've got genuine reasons and thought about them. You can't just be attracted to the word music or whatever, you know. I really do some research.
We do some research, and our people got 25 seconds, but as soon as it locks off, guys, we're gonna come back straight away because we're not finished. I know you guys got lots of questions. I can see them piling up, but before it finishes, in terms of people approaching you, you're approachable. People can approach you.
Yeah.
That's important, you know, because some people can't. Guys, it's gonna lock off. We're gonna come back right now.
Lovely lad, but yeah, think me with a lick up, boy, this me, you must be mad. 13, yeah, but to my friends then. Now we have to question where my friends then. So friend I kill friend then. Whoa. I know what they say to you. Sound never ends. See no evil. Rico Rodrigo, remember November. You know! 17, I was in court. Now look, I'm trying to bring Serena round. You get it? The grass is greener now. You get it? The kicks are cleaner now. 15 when I first saw a turner, but it's funny how I'm keener now. Diva, probably up my ex, she probably tell you that I've been about. Probably up my newest, probably tell you I'm a lovely lad. But you think me with a leg up, boy, diss me, you must be mad. 13, yeah, been my friends then. Now we have to question when my friends then. So friend I kill friend then. Who am I though? Straight out the gully, know the bread and the butter thing. Straight out the gully, know the stress and the struggling. But me, I've seen money come, money go. Girls come, girls go. Keep them all coming in, cause I can't tell what's gold and what's gold plated. I can't tell what's clean and what's been played with. I've been hearing all the random outbursts. Back can come around, but stay on the outskirts. Plus my brother won the voice, and he still ain't got a voice, so they're trying to get me out first. Feeling like the outcast, I can tell the odds are against me. I wonder what they say. I wonder what they say to you.
Yes, guys, we're back. We're back.
We were like some bone thugs in harmony. What should I do now? The feeling's dislocated. Trying to find the love, I can't locate it. I was on my same ish, you was on your day shift. Two different paths, you gotta face it. I don't want more, we can't really take each other's faces. I don't want more, we can't really take each other's. A little Rico's doing okay, trying to do what's rated. I don't do the hoes, very selective who I lay with. At the time it was Tuesday, you're Chase Jalen. At the time it was made love, I'll stay waiting. I can't wait on no one. I can't wait on, you know. Time really matters to you. Really love the music well, I'm really flattered and I called her cute and she got embarrassed and I said what's your number then? You know the pattern. Tingles, you know why that tingles. Younger thing just wants to be around.
Yes, yes. We're back.
Yeah.
We're back. I don't know why Instagram does that, you know.
It's a bit like Zoom.
Oh, does Zoom do that as well?
Yeah, you got 40 minutes free on Zoom. And then, yeah, you got to upgrade. Maybe you got to get Instagram Plus or something.
Yeah, so it come like, they ain't getting no plus from me though, I know that. Yeah, guys, put the questions now, because before I know that I saw quite a lot of questions, but all the questions are probably gone now. Is a music a new thing, or has it been around for quite a while? If an artist music lawyer also works for their label stroke manager, that could make a conflict of interest. What's the best way for an artist to avoid conflicts of interest? Good question.
You can't have the same lawyer. It's that simple, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I see this a lot of the time. So artists are working with a manager, and their manager has a relationship with a particular lawyer, and that lawyer then gets a management agreement signed between the manager and the artist. Firstly, who helped the artist? Who looked over the artist contract? You know, because it's like you're really gonna use your manager's lawyer. Okay, cool. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the best way to ruin a relationship, and that's the worst way to start a relationship as well. If you wanted to, I don't know, if you had your artist's best interest at heart, you'd be saying to that person, go and get your own lawyer. You need someone to look over this. You know. So it's that simple. Like it should just be different, and it's not like if for me it's a bit of a red flag if, for example, the label or the manager was really against you going out to get your own lawyer. Like like that tells you straight up something's probably not right there.
So it's important to keep the two separate.
Yeah,
very
definitely.
important to keep the two separate. Okay, anyone else?
Just I think it was the last one in AJ's live. Someone was asking a question about, is business getting in the way of the music? And the answer for me, an answer would be it definitely shouldn't. Like if you have the right team around you and the right people that make up your team, then your talent, your creativity is going to be like all you're ever going to worry about, right? Because if you've got a manager, they're handling realistically business stuff. And if you've got a lawyer on that side as well, like the business element just shouldn't involve you as the creative. Like that's the point of building your team, the right team, right? That you can do what you do best, which is making music and being creative. You know, and let the managers and I guess the lawyers handle the business.
Hope I answered that question from the last person who asked it. Explain the importance of out clauses.
Of out clauses? In what context are we speaking?
Do you mean out clauses or sunset clauses? One Valen, that is his name. In the meantime, do you mean sunset clauses or what? Kind of be a bit more clear with the question. What's your opinion on a 360 deal?
I guess it's like you've got to be. It's always difficult. Basically, in negotiations, it's really easy to just think about your perspective, because you know that when you're opposite somebody in a negotiation, you naturally have opposite. To an extent, you naturally have opposite goals. Like you're trying to get more, and they're trying to get more from you, right? But it's so important, I think. And you know, I'm reading a book about negotiation, and it says that actually, if you only think about your own goals, you're going to end up losing the potential value from the deal, because each person becomes selfish, and you kind of stop yourselves up from opening up the possibilities of reaching bigger and better deals. So I'm not. Well, a 360, by the way, like there's an element of 360ness that exists in, I guess, major label deals now. If you can get the percentages down to the right level and get publishing out altogether, you know, you're sort of incentivizing the person you're signing with to realistically, I don't know, just maybe boost the value for you in the deal as well. So I'm not like, you know, I guess a pure 360, you probably, you know, we wouldn't see them anymore anyway. But when you're looking at sort of a major label deal, they're going to eat from more than just recordings. But again, it's just sort of getting the balance. Right.
And obviously, for those who don't know what 360 is, that's when obviously they take a cut from obviously recording, possibly publishing, tour, merch, whatever. It's just basically a cut from lots of different chunks of your income, which is why not a lot of people do 360s. But yo, that's what's going on these days.
What's the name of the book?
What's the name of the negotiation book?
I'll send it when I remember the name.
When he remembers his name, he's gonna send it. Who said that? Ariel. Yeah, hit me up and I'll get that for you. Can you give top 3 things artists should look out for when signing a deal?
A lawyer, number 1, and that's probably it, really.
Straight. First one, straight to it. That was a 360 deal. I just kind of explained it. Should you manage a friend?
Personally, I think yes. Like your best manager is going to be the manager that does the most for you. And you know, if your friend is really passionate about what you're doing and understands what you're doing, if you can get that professional working relationship going, then there's no reason why your friend shouldn't be your manager. You look at like Stormzy and Toby, for example. You know, you don't have to be a Mo and Kilo. Do you know what I mean? Like you haven't got. There's no reason why your friends can't be your managers.
Okay, cool. More of the story, guys. Lawyer is absolutely managed. definitely get one of those. All right, cool, man. Last one. How can your friends manage you if they have no experience in the music industry?
Yeah, because like managers, they're not necessarily made off the shelf. Like it's not like, yeah, there's some big management companies like September, Modest. Do you know what I mean? But like otherwise, and certainly in particular genres of music, you know, you're looking around trying to find someone who's just passionate about you, who's out there, who's going to hustle for you, who's going to grind for you, who's going to, you know, do the most to try and get you what you deserve, basically. So, you know, I mean, and to be fair to you, if you're going to go out and try and, you know, target experienced managers, the likelihood is they're going to be busy because, you know, they're experienced because they've hit some success with somebody, right? So, you know, they're not necessarily going to have the capacity. It's always that balance you've got to find. But, you know, if you can't get the most experienced manager, then like I say, the best manager is going to be the one who, sorry, I don't know what the last week
Yeah.
you heard was, what.
Yeah, pretty much heard it all there. Pretty much heard it, because I just feel like even if you're up and coming, like I'm sure with them lot, they never had any previous experience. I mean, got Kilo and them lot, Toby, I don't know for certain, but I assume they probably didn't have any previous managerial experience in that field. But I feel like if the artist is building, why can't you build with a manager who's willing to obviously build with you and not just going to be there for the sake of it, but actually working on your behalf. And most of the managers in our scene are, you know, the artist is quite good friends. So it hasn't failed them yet. Well, it has some. Let me not lie. It has some, but let's not go there. All right, cool, man. Cool. Mike, big up for the time. Right. Guys, you heard it. He is approachable. But yeah, no, music lawyer is absolutely vital in this game, man. Absolutely vital. So big up, and I'm gonna get you. Thanks for coming on, man.
All right, man.
Take care, yeah.
In a bit.
Yes, guys. Halfway through, man. Halfway through. Dave, if you're on here, send me a request, bro. If you're on there, Dave.
Let me tell you what I live for when the sun is shining. Summertime fine, everybody grinding. We gon' have a good time, and everybody wants to live, yeah. Energy's nice and the weather is sweet. Feel the cool breeze in the midst of the heat. We gon' have a good time, and everybody lives their best life. When the weather is poppin', yeah. The melanin's poppin', yeah. Melanin poppin', yeah. When the weather is poppin', yeah. Melanin poppin', yeah. Melanin poppin', yeah. It's summertime, I'm feeling fine. I feel the life, catching a vibe. Chilling a park, sipping a wine. Fling on a tune, getting my wine. I'm looking cute, ready to slay. And all my girls came out to play. I'm feeling nice, bring out the rain. That looking nice, looking so bad. Let me tell you what I live for.
Yes.
We was about to have a BBC flipping. Whoever seen that? That's bare funny. You know when the guys have a BBC interview, the kids run in. Jesus, good.
Oh, it's funny. You
yes,
got me, sir. Yes,
bro.
sir. What's good?
Yes. What's going on? Firstly,
boy, I'm watching the Bitcoin falling. Yes, that's for later. That's for later.
That's for later. And I have been paying attention to that, by the way.
Yes.
But
it's right here.
It's sad times, man. It's sad times. Anyway, bro, guys, for those to the music business, I wouldn't be in this thing if it wasn't for you, bro. Yeah. Where to start?
Give thanks, man. Give thanks.
Tell everyone some of the stuff that you do, at least some of it. Production, engineering, musician, and songwriting. Come on. Tell them, man.
Okay, well, you know, like you said, I mean, I've been involved a long time, and I've been blessed. I've been just so blessed, you know what I mean? And even to be on this with you, you know, my nephew doing so many great things, you know, even this thing that you've just done here, which is going to educate and inspire a lot of people and sort of shine lights on areas that have been dark for many people. You know, you're creating opportunities here through this life. So big up for that, first of all, yeah?
Thanks,
so in terms of what I do, you know, I'm not a manager. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a designer. Yeah, but when it comes to the creative side, of things, you know, I've been around long enough to have developed skills in many of those areas. So like you said, from the inception of an idea right through to the finished product out so that the public can hear it, that whole journey, that whole process. I'm able to facilitate that entire process. So that's that side. Besides that, I have, as you know, an absolute thirst and hunger for knowledge. So like your guy at the top there, Vic said at the top about education, man, and we have that same kind of philosophy anyway.
Always.
You know, you will never know enough. You know, you will never know. I meet so many guys. Yeah, they get a laptop, they get a cracked version of Logic, and now they're a producer. You know what I mean? You know, and it don't work like that. You know, so for me, I from an early stage, I always had that desire to learn and to become, for me, the best I can be. Not for anybody else, for me. So I can walk away, I can walk with my head held high, knowing that should a situation arise where I need to apply a certain skill, I'm there and I can handle it, you know? So I've educated myself, and I've been able to impart that knowledge as a lecturer, and, you know, as a mentor, as a tutor, in a number of different ways. And like I said, man, it's just a blessing to be able to do that, you know? So yeah, so that's in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, and obviously you have degrees in music tech.
Yes.
Let's not forget that, and a master's in
music production. Music production, man. Music production. Yeah. So and you know, I'm a qualified lecturer for, you know, I got my PGCE, and so it again, you know, like what's been mentioned earlier in the live. The credentials are important, but it also helps to bolster your own ability, you know. So it's good for me to be able to say on this live, yeah, I have these letters, but for me, I worked hard for it. So in order to achieve that, I must have done the work and gained the knowledge and the understanding. So it actually makes me stronger in my field, you know. So like yourself, you're doing some studies at the moment, and I know there's other people on the live doing the same. That study that you're doing, it's invaluable. You know, I can't stress it enough. Every student I come across, every mentee I work with, I'm always trying to encourage, just up your skills. If it means a college course or some sort of learning, don't just kind of think, okay, you know, I can make music, well, that's it. No, always build up your understanding of whatever it is you intend to do as a profession.
And that again is vitally important. Hence why I brought you on as well, coming from a different perspective. Like when I planned this, I wanted someone from different fields, you know, some very experienced like yourself, some maybe not as experienced, but just in different fields. So it's important that I give people perspective of many different angles of the music industry. With yourself, you've been doing this longer than I've been born. So you know, it's been a long time, and it comes with a whole leap of obviously experience at the same time, which then obviously leads me on to the next topic of what you do online. You do tutorials. In the list goes on in terms of what you do on your tutorials on your YouTube page, in terms of creating 808s, in terms of engineering, in terms of setting up a home studio, which we're going to get onto in a sec. But in terms of mixing, in terms of the list goes on. So tell the audience obviously what you do in terms of your tutorials online that is obviously available for people to view right now, which I'm going to put the website in as you're talking.
Right,
but
please.
Yeah,
thank
so
you.
in terms of the training or what you do on your YouTube channel, let them know what you do on there. Yeah,
so that's you know, that's my passion, you know. I mean, it's not been, I mean, for me, it's not been that long. It's been 3-4 years or something like that. And I do this alongside all the other things that I do in my day-to-day. But I really am passionate about passing on the knowledge in a manner that's accessible. So, you know, the YouTube channel's there, and like you said, you're going to put it up. I'm not going to teach you how to make beats. There's enough people out there to do that, yeah? But I'm about the evergreen knowledge, the evergreen. So, how to EQ. Yeah. You needed to know how to EQ back in the 1940s, and you will do in 100 years' time. You get me? You understand? So, how to I don't know, how to use the tools within your DAW, your digital audio workstation, okay? Uncovering some of the secrets that lie within Logic, because Logic's my platform. You know, I use Pro Tools and all the, you know, I'm proficient in the others, but Logic is my go-to tool. So the majority of the people who subscribe to my channel, they are generally Logic users. So we kind of go dig into that and sort of reveal some of the things that are probably overlooked at times. But besides that, man, I mean, it's about trying to just share just the general knowledge that how you can enhance your production if you're recording as well. Gain staging. What does gain staging mean? If you don't know, check it out on the on the channel, because if you're gonna be recording, you need to understand that. And if you don't know now, you will know. So check that one out, yeah? But yeah, man, it's, you know, I love what I do. It's hard work, you know, it's time consuming, but it's a passion.
And that's and that's vital. I mean, during this time as well, I know a lot of artists are kicking themselves when they don't have their own sort of home studio. I've even got mates that are climbing the walls because they can't go to the studio at the moment. One that's probably in, two of them probably in here, and I know how it is, but how important is it? You know, we kind of touched on it earlier with Vic, but how important is it to have a home studio, even if it's just a basic one? But you know, we can see your big professional one behind you. This is not a studio that's 10 months. This is in your house, but we're not talking about that. But how important is a home studio from your point of view?
Man, I tell you, like you said, yeah, bro, I've been doing this, like you said, before you were born, yeah. My son is your age, isn't it? So, you know, I tell you how long I've been doing this, yeah. You will not believe it. I started playing piano when I was 6 years old. Okay, my dad taught me, so I was blessed to grow up in a family. My dad was a musician, played multiple instruments, and he was an electrician as well. So I had the best of both. So I had the musical side in the family, as well as understanding signals and electricity and all of that. So I came up with that knowledge, mate. If when I was a teenager, I had the tools that are available now. Oh my goodness. How I started out, yeah, producing. This is producing. So I'd have my piano and have a tape recorder, right? And I play the piano, record it on the tape recorder. Then I get my bass out, right? Put the tape recorder there, play the tape recorder and play the bass. No, I had 2 tape recorders. That's it, 2 tape recorders. Because one had to play back the piano while I'm playing the bass, and the other one had to record it through the air. By the time I'm done, yeah, all you're hearing is pure noise. But those were the skills that for my era, for my generation, were coming up. We learned the craft of recording. Now, in answer to your question, bro, if you are interested in music, get yourself set up at home. I've just done a video like the other day about how cheap you can just, for under like about £300, yeah, you could be fully operational. Yeah, you don't need to buy a brand new computer. Use a computer you got at home, and the tools, you know, again, check out the video and I'll tell you exactly what you can get, and you can be up and running. During lockdown, you can be recorded. It's crucial that if you decide to do this thing, that you have your own setup, so that you understand the practices. No, I'm not saying that you should be recording your own stuff and releasing it. No, have your setup so that you can practice. You can do the pre-production work. And like I think it was Vic said earlier, he said how one of the best things about recording in another studio is the organic, is the collaborative environment that you have when working with others. That's what you need when you're starting out. If you let's say, for example, you're a vocalist, you might have a little studio at home. You do your pre-production work, and then you take that preparation to another studio, and you get some objective viewpoints in. You get someone who understands the feel that the genre you're going for, and can suggest some ideas and help take it to the next level. So certainly as a pre-production setup, 100%. For more advanced, you know, people, then of course, you know, you build up your thing and you work with other artists and whatnot. So yeah, definitely 100%. You have to have your studio if you're interested in this.
And obviously, as you said, it's as cheap as free, just what, £300?
£300, yeah, done.
And as an artist, I feel like that's absolutely vital that, you know, you get that. So, you know, no one could have ever predicted that we was going to be in this situation. But even when you're not in that situation, I just feel like it's just always needed as just for ideas. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people always recording their phones and all that, you know, these voice memos and stuff. But I feel like it's vitally important. But obviously, the main message of today was there's help there for those who are doing a lot of stuff themselves. Once again, I'll put the website there in the comments. Scroll back if you need to. What you need in terms of help is there. Listen, I know this man very well. I still go on the same YouTube channel sometimes when I need a bit of assistance if it's too late at night. Yeah, so please, yeah, trust me. So please, guys, check it out. It's absolutely essential. And you know, I have to, you know, let's talk about young Tim here, who's obviously your nephew, who's a producer that I manage as well, and you've kind of put him through the paces as well. I'm sure you've taught him a lot of what he knows.
Oh yeah, yes. The big stick comes out when it's with Tim, man. No, we don't play games, man. We don't play games because, you know, he works very, very hard. So proud of him, you know, and it's just a matter of time, as with anything, you know. But he works hard, and eventually the results that is due him will come, you know. So yeah, man.
Yeah. All right then. Listen, my man, guys.
Yes, sir.
I'll put it in there. Check him out, man. Please check him out. Thanks for coming on, bro. We'll catch up.
You're very welcome, man. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, man, I'm gonna check back. I have this running, but I'm just watching the numbers, man.
Where we at quickly, by the way? What's it on?
Oh, let me tell you real quick, yeah. Oh, it's gone. It's back up to 7.
Okay, good. Anyway, we'll catch up later.
Sorry.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
In a bit, man. Take care. All right.
Yes, man. Yeah, Manny, man, send your request, man.
Cause my love, she loaded. He's a shatter, she's a shatter. We from London, step from London. Walk up on the left, funny like the grabber. Good intentions, no reflections. I'm a fucking senseless. No pretending, never listen to me. Cause you are a bad guy and I take back chat. But the night that I take back shot. Fling up it, just let me take that. She know the thing.
I don't know what's going on. I can't see myself. Can you see me? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, we can see you, bro.
I can't see me. What's happening here?
What, can you see me? That's all you need to see, man.
I can see you. I can see you.
What's going on with your phone, bro? You got.
I have no idea. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna see what I can do here because I don't know what's going on. Give me a second. It might be my connection. One sec.
Let's wait for him to sort it out. Hey, Carla, you should be coming on, my G. Hey, guys. Legend right there, you know.
I see my nigga on the news. He was
My
moving
G.
loose. Lately I've been crazy, baby. I can't leave the juice. I've been moving loose. Pain that I've been through. That's why every time I'm in there, I feel like I'm Zeus. And we come up in the nighttime. Yes, we come up in the nighttime. I know my baby's so fine. Oh, she older, but she don't mind. Wait, Don't be coming at to sightsee. All my niggas strapped to my beat. She beside me, but ain't wifey. Cause I need these shit is pricey. Normal, them guys are normal. Me, myself, and I, we do it better. Hey, I got the hooks like McGregor. Hey, out for the pasta and cheddar. Back pianos with one of my fellas. I think my beat is better. Lost on the TNs and Yenners. Hey, my dogs like Corella. Whoa, flowing 101. Look when I do what I do. Taking out like 101. Don't make you 102. I back, then I shell. Back then back to back, the see Chanel. Prove me why I haven't blown. I was too interested in Chanel. So it's just Uber everywhere like there's no bills to pay. If they feel away, if they feel away. Look, I'm moving, it's real estate. It's mad. I see my nigga on the nose. He was moving loose. Lately I've been crazy, baby. I can't leave the juice. I've been moving loose. Pain out.
Yes.
So it's still doing the same thing, but yeah, let's go.
We don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have time. Anyway.
I hear you. I'm with you.
So you can see me, yeah?
I can see you. It's moving a bit mad, but I can see you, yeah.
Okay, anyway, irrelevant. My brother.
My guy.
My boy. What's going on?
Well, you know where I'm at, innit? You know where I am, innit?
Where are you?
I'm here. I'm back.
Are you back? Oh.
I'm back, bro. I'm back in the spot, fam.
Okay, you're back in the 54 household. Anyway, we'll chat about it after. Everybody, this is the 54 London creative designer, part of branding team. What's going on? For those who don't know, what is 54 London, fam? What is that?
So, 54 London, do you know what? 54 London is a few things, to be honest, yeah? For me, yeah, it's a record label, it's a brand, it's a family, there's a whole situation around this 54 thing, yeah? And it's so mad, yeah, when like Steph actually explained to me what this thing meant and what it means, yeah? And I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, innit? But it's a serious thing. It's a global thing. It's like it represents something. The numbers represent something serious. Still.
Yeah, don't bait out because you'll fire both of us.
Yeah, so it's that, man. But yeah.
But so obviously Steph London's record label, very much successful. Those who don't know, obviously probably all of her music has come through 54 London through another label. Of course, and you're a part of obviously our team, the creative designing side of it. In terms of, tell us what you've done, man, for the label side.
So like pretty much most of Steph's singles since Ding-a-Ling with featuring Skepta were done by me. So in terms of what Steph would normally do, she'll send me the song, send me an image, and then let me get on with it. To just kind of just say, what do you think we should do with this? And then I'll get creative with what I've been given. And then 9 times out of 10, we're in. That's it. It's good. We're good to go. I'm liaising with the label. And I'm really close with Steph in terms of what needs to happen and how it needs to look and getting it right. So like the Secure cover, that one was one of the hardest covers that we did. Like it was hard, but hard as in it was difficult to get right because there was so many alterations and you know what I'm saying. But yeah, like in terms of creativity, I'll come up with the concept on where the idea should go image wise.
So in terms of stuff like the pop-up shop that she done, obviously, how much involvement did you have in terms of the pop-up shop? And tell us what was actually in the pop-up shop. So in terms of merch, or just let them know what was in that.
So that whole pop-up shop idea, me and her came up with that together, and basically it was all the merchandise that we decided that we could create from the Secure tape. So the bags, the hoodies, all the imagery from all the videos made so much sense that I really wanted to brand Steph as an icon, to be honest. I feel like she's an icon in our generation at the moment, and to have the clothing in a way where if you're a fan, you're gonna be like, yes, I'm gonna rock this. But even if you're not a fan, you're just gonna look at it and be like, yeah, I like that. Like, I really like. So we had hats, we had hoodies, we had tracksuits, we had I think, did we have socks? I think we had socks. We had there was like posters. We had so many different things, and yeah, I came up with most of, if not all of the products. We had like digital vans come to display the whole thing. We had YouTube partnered up with us when they heard what we were doing. They wanted in, so we did a whole partnership with them. Yeah, no, it was sick, man. It was sick. It was good.
Yeah, man, big up. And obviously, as you said in it, you was probably behind literally all of.
Yeah. For the week of that pop-up shop, I was in and out of that shop every day, looking at where things should go, liaising with the me and Steph came down, spoke to the store owners quite a few times, made sure it was right before we could actually, is this the place we want to do it? Should things go like this? I designed the store virtually before we did it properly as well. So then the guys that actually put up the vinyl, I created all the artwork for that and said, look, this is how it needs to go. We got her secure artwork on like each side of the doors, like in a full the logos. YouTube, they sent their logos. Well, we gave them a section to put their thing up as well. And yeah, I made sure everything was right and then liaised with everyone. And yeah, man.
Which we'll obviously we'll get back to in a sec. But in terms of, obviously, you do lyric videos as well. So you've done the lyric video for the Kojo Funds and Steph's song, the Takeoff song. So you've done the lyric video for that, so guys can check that out. And before the Senseless official video came out, you've done the lyric video for that as well. So guys, you can both check that out because this man is an expert in terms of that field, in terms of lyric videos. These are not easy. I've sat down and watched somebody do this before. It is not easy to do, to piece it in terms of the images, in terms of the timing. It is, yo, that field ain't for me. It will never be for me. Yeah, but that's something that you've done that has turned out obviously really well. So I can then go back to, in terms of merch, because I know one of my people in here, and hit me up, well done, Zanes. I know there's people in here that are looking to go into the merchandise sector of the industry. What's the best advice you could give in terms of merch, where it's something that you're obviously comfortable in, and something that you've been doing and you're still doing, you know? Once again, we can't mention some stuff because we get fired, but there's still things going on up till now in terms of that field. So what advice would you want to give to people that are trying to get into that field or starting up merch? You know, what can you give? Furthermore, are you even open to collaborations? Can people? Yeah.
Look, I'm open to collaborations. My advice would be to get behind. Like, I'm behind everything as well. I'm a graphic designer, so in terms of designs, like, get to know what graphics is about, shapes, understand the science behind design. Once you get to know that, then you understand there's a science behind like merchandise. So I don't want to compare it to something like food, but once you know what types of food work, you know how to mix the sweet with the savory. So it's like, in terms of like printing and merchandise, there's you know, there's so many different types of prints, but not every design will look good with embroidery. Some work better printed, or, you know, there's a variation. So I would say get behind the science of it first. Once you understand that, then you can kind of talk to anybody about merchandise and go into that field. And if that's not something you're trying to get into design wise, then I would just say find a graphic designer that can see your vision, so you can design something. Or even if you can't draw, you can't design something, you can speak to them, they can bring your ideas back. So be friends with a graphic designer. That's the first step. After that, network. Not every there's loads of people that can print t-shirts, that can create merchandise and all that sort of stuff, but to get what you want, you need to kind of build a relationship so that the people that you're working with understand what it is your vision. And if they can understand your vision, then you'll know what products work well. Not everybody should do t-shirts. Not everybody should do that. Some things work better as other things. There's brands like Hype that started with lighters. Like, who knew that that was going to turn their brand to what it is now? Do you know what I'm saying? So there's ways into this thing. But yeah, I think once you've got the right design and you pick the right product for merchandise, you're gone, man. And with artists, a lot of them, their merchandise is fan wear. So hoodies, hats, t-shirts. The fans want to wear that sort of stuff. But we're getting into a place where it's not about that. We want niche things. So merchandise depends on.
Is the way forward.
100% the way forward. 100% the way forward.
Okay, cool, man. So if anyone wants to hit you up, they can obviously hit you up. You're open to that, of course.
I'm open to that.
Some people think they're not. Some people he might not be approachable. He works with this person, with that. Obviously, you're open to that, of course.
I'm good.
So yeah, man, bro. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate every time.
No problem.
Hit up my G for me when you go back out and speak to her. Big up.
Yeah, man. No problem.
Love. Yeah, man.
Yeah, love. What you saying though? What's good, bro?
No, nothing. I'm gonna hit you up after.
All right, cool.
This is not the time for that conversation, bro.
All right, cool.
Hey, listen, big up for coming on, yeah?
No problem, man. Love, respect, problem.
Yes. Flipping, I'm getting all tired, guys. Scars, man, send me a request, bro. Can't lie, this song is fresh, but it bangs. Anyone that don't like it, it's like fucking
I got a time, I got a fact to rap game without they calm down. I know my brand says the name of you, Jesus. Sorry, Lord, forgive me, and nobody gonna feed us. Back on the line, 16, no fellas. Almost 30 years, say, oh God, no people. Baby, welcome to the party. Come in this. Chris and the audio. Billie Jean, Billie Jean, yo. Chris and the audio. Billie Jean,
What's good? What's good?
Yo, man.
Things.
What's going on, bro?
I'm fine, man. How are you?
Damn, you look tired, bro.
Bro, there's so much information that I've been taking in this past hour and a half. It's a lot.
It's a lot of information, isn't it?
Good though. Music Lawyers was wicked.
You know what I'm saying?
As well.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, big up my guy Ben, man, on the panel on Wednesday, man. Yeah. So you've been liking it so far?
Yeah, man, it's good. Real insightful. I just hope there's artists in here that are taking note and taking the learnings from what you're delivering. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Got a few up and coming artists myself.
Huh?
I sent it out to a couple of up and coming.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just so they can tune in and take it in.
Yeah, sick, man. What's that logo in the background?
It's the Rich Power Films logo.
Oh, okay, yeah. What's that then? Let's talk to us about that then.
I just realized Rich Power is crazy.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, to it. Obviously, Scar's my man, director and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Respecting the game. We love some videos that you've done, man.
Ooh, It's crazy. I've done Fecky and Gets, Call Me Again. I've done stuff with like Ollie Murs, acoustic videos, Professor Green.
Professor Green Dutch record, innit?
Yeah. That was a big one. Nightcrawlers, Big Nasty. I had to like write these down because there's things.
I know the list goes on. Even I've got a few here. The Jack Fowler, you know, featuring my guy Figs. Hey, Figures, my guy.
Yeah.
Back to yours. Al Chabino, C. July, Epic.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Slumber,
Arms, F. Logan. Like Arms, you're rude for that one, you know. If Arms is in here, you're a bit rude for that one still, my bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Obviously, we already saw the logo there. We saw the logo there. Rich Power Films. Tell us about that, man.
Man, it's been a long time coming. It's a video production company. I direct, but team we offer full production services. So we produce shoots, we can edit, we color grade, and direct. So it's like a full package basically. Founded beginning of last year properly. Because obviously before, like when you're starting a company, sometimes you don't know if it's gonna work straight away. So you try that out. You tried it out for I think it was about 6 months, and then it was like when the work started coming in strong, it was like right, found it and do it properly.
No doubt, because obviously, if people that don't know, how long have you really been doing this thing? I know the company's just been set up recently, but how long have you actually been shooting videos? And give your age as well, because that's important.
Yeah, so I'm 27. Yeah, I've been shooting, like using a camera, shooting videos since I was 14. So that's a lot of years, man. My first music video I shot when I was 15, and that was for me and my friends, because our crew. You know what I mean?
Well, the SOS days.
The SOS Sound of the Street, legendary.
That's legendary.
To drop some sound effects. I
know you should have. Legendary, yo. Big up my G's, man. Big up my G's from that squad. So obviously you've been shooting videos a hell of a long time. You've shot a lot of videos over your time as well. What made you even get into directing in the first place? Because to be honest, like we grew up together anyway, but you was just always on your own path, if that makes sense. Like while everyone else was doing other things, like that was just your thing, innit? Do you know what I mean? And I think at that time there, I think you was the only person that I even knew that even shot videos or knew how to shoot videos at the time. Obviously, especially back then. Come on, it was really young. Do you get what I mean? But what made you even go into that in the first place?
Exactly.
Do you get what I mean?
So obviously, when I was younger, I was the kid that was like multi-talented. In school, I was kind of good at majority of things. Do you know? Like kind of good. I was at a good. I could play every sport. I could ride bikes. I could do bare crazy stuff. So when I was younger, my mum used to try to get me out of the house on the weekends and stuff, doing productive things, obviously. Instead of me just going out on the estate or whatever, she tried to get me into productive things every weekend. So one week I was doing drumming lessons. The next week I'll be doing ice skating, ice hockey. I used to do that. Then the next week I'll be doing BMX. And then there was this one weekend where I got sent to a young people's production company filming club thing in Old Street. I was like 13, 14. And they used to teach young people, basically. They're called Mouth That Roars, actually. They're still running today. Mouth That Roars Studio 23. They're based in Old Street. They teach young people how to use camera equipment and editing equipment. I can't remember the ages, but it was real young ages. It was like I think it was something like from 10 years old to 16 or something like they'll teach. And then I'll go there from that one day I went there, I was like, Mum, no, I want to keep on going to this. And I carried on going. obviously, whilst that I was learning that, I was also doing music because I'm like a music man. All my life been into music.
Always.
So they both played a part. So I knew I wanted to do music, and I knew that I was sick at filming. Do you know what I mean?
As you always was. Yeah, go on. Keep going.
Yeah. Then literally, then I brought my friends to the club as well. We all done music, shot music video. Off the back of that, that was it. I just started shooting. And then back in the day, obviously I used to spit. So one time we had a music video shoot, and I don't know if you guys remember, but Lockdown Records it was called. So it was like a YouTube channel just before Grind Daily, way before Link Up TV. It was like SBTV, UK Overstood, those sort of days. We had a video shoot from LD Records. They come down, and then obviously I had been learning how to film and shit all the time, all of this period. But I'm there, I'm in front of the camera. I'm getting a music video shot. So I think it was actually Arms' shot next. Arms was gonna do his shot, and I think the directors was like smoking or something, and they just left the camera on the side. I just picked up the camera and then I started shooting the shot. And then they were like, "Bro, what, you know how to shoot and stuff?" These times it was Canon 7D just come out. Canon 7D just come out. And then, yeah, I made friends with those guys, and they took me around London shooting music videos. That's how I really got into it.
And that's it, you come in here. And then, so how did the whole Sony thing come around? So you're obviously, your ex-Sony used to work at Full Floor in Sony. So how did that all come around? How was that working in the Sony building?
So this is like one of the most important things about that I've learned about like being a director, and in most classes is like your network. Always making sure that you leave a good rapport and a good representation of yourself to people, because you never know when that person's gonna help you out in the future or when you're gonna need their help.
Because today's intern can be tomorrow's boss. Never forget that one.
Exactly. So one day, so I was working at a digital marketing agency before that, before Sony, in Brixton, called Liberty. And whilst I was there, one day someone needed an extra cameraman. Like a cameraman just didn't turn up to the shoot, and it was to shoot Vic Mensa in Brixton, in O2 in Brixton. And that agency where I used to work was based in Brixton. So I got a phone call. Someone that I'd worked with had recommended me. So cool, I go down there. Then we take Vic Mensa to his first Nando's, filming him basically, and then we filmed the set on the stage and stuff. And that was it. I basically met this guy once. His name was Isaac Icy. He's this guy. I literally met him once, left a good rapport, shot it, sent him the footage, all good, sick. We got on really well as well. Then what? 3 years later, I get an email from my ex-manager at Sony, saying, "Oh, your details have been passed on from Isaac Icy." These times I've forgotten about my man, you know. 3 years later down the line, I'm thinking, Isaac Icy, who's that again? Isaac. So I done a search on LinkedIn. I found him. I was like, "Oh, it's the guy that I done the Vic Mensa show." And then I went out. They hooked up a meeting. I went in, and then my manager, I was meant to be with him for like 20 minutes, just to have a little interview, but we ended up talking about loads of general things, music, general, and loads of. He was there for like an hour, and he's like, "Nah, I like you. I want you to come and work with us." And obviously, I was working at a digital marketing agency before. I had 4 weeks holiday left. Yeah. So Sony, they said, "Oh, come and work for a month." I was like, "Cool." So I told my work, I'm taking 4 weeks holiday. Yeah. So in that 4 weeks holiday, I went to work at Sony for a month. Then at the end of the month, manager goes, yo. At the end of the month, he goes, do you want to spend another month? Obviously, my work, I don't know, because I'm freelancing. I don't know if after this next month, he's going to say, oh, yeah, that's it now. You're gone. Finished.
Crib.
So I've had to go to work, my other work, my old manager, and say, look, they want me to stay another month. And they were like, all right, cool. We're going to have to basically release you. Like, they were like flexible. So I was like, all right, cool. I left. And then at the end of that month, do you want to stay another month? At the end of that month, do you want to stay another month? Then that went on for 3.5 years.
Come on, man. The journey, the reason I wanted you to explain that is to show that, you know, you didn't just fall into these roles. It's been a journey. You didn't just wake up and fall into these roles from where you started, from shooting videos at 14 to now being 27. This whole journey, and it's important. I purposely wanted you to explain the journey from where you started from to where you are now, from even being an artist yourself, as well at the same time to where you are now. And it's important. I stick by that as well. When you meet someone for the first time, it's important to leave a good impression on them as well.
Definitely. That's the
you
best
never
thing.
know who you get what I'm saying? Like, even one of my guests, which I'm not going to reveal yet, on Wednesday used to go to my school. I was thinking, what? And you're now in this big role. Do you get what I mean? So you just never know who you can buck up with down the line, and they can be in a position of power, and you're just like, yo. So that's important, and that's the message I wanted to get across. That everyone's journey is different. People think that we all fall into roles, like we trip. And, I'm in the Sony building. I buckled into that role. It don't work like that. You get what I'm saying? So
like, once I was in that building, it wasn't like, right, I'm in the building now. That's it. I still had the next level of graft that I needed to do.
Needed to do as well. 100.
Like that job there was my dream job. That job was the job that all my life I wanted to do. Work with established artists within a label, being able to travel, go to music events, like all of that stuff was all I wanted to do. But make sure I could secure my spot in there, and that was done by a given good impression on
leaving good impression and networking. I can't stress enough how important networking is. You know, people want the links, people want to know people, but they don't want to go to these events, or if it's too cold, I don't want to go to this event. You know, I've had it where I'm going to this event, it's in South, you know, boy, I have to get the train, you know, it's all this
That's it.
It's all the excuses, but it's all part of the grind. Like most of my contacts now have obviously come from networking as well. Like, I can't stress how important it is. Like, most people in here, if you've spoken to me about any form of information or advice, I will tell you the same thing. Like, the majority of my contacts hasn't come from me speaking through you and can you bust me on this? No, it's been me networking, and going to seminars, going to conferences, going to open mic nights.
Putting your face in positions as well, like being seen.
You get what I'm saying? Like being in the right places at the right time, and just making an effort. You know, even if it costs you. Some people think, oh, why am I going there? It's going to cost me a score to get there. But you might go there and
investing in yourself.
You get what I'm saying? That's how I see it. Like, I spend bare money on going to different events, or, you know, travel or petrol, all these things there. But it's benefited me in a massive, massive, massive way. And anyone who F's with me regular knows, like, do you get what I'm saying? It's important. So yeah, definitely networking is absolutely vital, and that's how you meet more and more people in the industry. Do you get what I mean? Most of my guests on Wednesday has not come from me 9 and 15 years. It's come from networking.
Exactly.
What I mean?
It's like when I first started going into that building, like I didn't know. Like I've always been an outspoken person, but at first I didn't know how to go about networking. What was the best way? Like, but what people need to remember is that, one, everyone's humans. Everyone is just a human being. No matter what status, what title they have, everyone's a human being. So if you want to speak to someone, speak to them.
It might
The
cut off,
worst thing
guys,
you could get is
but
like
one
no
sec, guys,
response.
it's gonna cut off. I'm coming straight back.
Tell me why you're so naughty, girl. 'Cause you're freaky, freaky, I'm like, oh, you ain't no bunny, girl. Tell me why you're so naughty, girl. I'm a temperature just a rise me, you feel oh bunny, girl. Wet like tsunami, pussy so tight. Girl, why no bunny? Deep up inside. Like you away, girl, for the whole night. Hold me like a vice grip, girl. Hold me sometime. Look on your knees and tell me how to do those things. And give you all your fucks to the queens that don't come first place. Girl, you have the tightest lookie. You already know me.
You've been playing some rhythms still.
Come on, man. Yo, Reggie.
Big rhythms. That Shaki Dread joint though. Whew.
Epic, innit?
Epic.
Big up my guy, man. Wait for a couple more people to join.
How you been doing now, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's just getting by, man. It's getting by, literally.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm just waiting for a couple more people to join. Yeah, this was an epic one.
Shout out, Chubby. This ain't BBC.
Some
BBC.
Say hi.
Hello.
Can you not say this is not some social thing?
No, BBC.
You got down.
Oh my gosh. Nah, you're killing me. You lot are killing me.
Jesus, some BBC thing, fam.
BBC. Too funny.
Yeah, man. Right, let's quickly let's wrap this up. But yeah, anyway, fam. Are you approachable? Is the question.
It's a good question, man.
Like, can people hit you up? Obviously, there's going to be artists in here, obviously, that you're thinking, yeah, man, I'm looking for a new director. I'm looking for someone that I can call upon.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know
no, definitely, we're definitely approachable. There's so what I like to do, we've got like different tiers in packages, basically. So you've got like big budget packages from like, that can be from 5K upwards. Those are for like your bigger productions, where you have like full crew, you have like mad treatment, all of this stuff, full production. But then we've got a medium tier and a lower tier. Lower tier is for like entry-level artists, so new artists or artists like working on a budget. Because I understand what's good about like Rich Power is I understand from the artist's perspective
as
like,
well, innit? Yeah,
what they
from
go,
that. Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I know that if an artist is coming to me and they're saying, oh yeah, I need to shoot something for this, I've got £400. I want it to do this. There's one issue. The one issue is that and they say, okay, I got £400. I want the world. I want the world and all the chicken wings and everything else that comes with it. Yeah, that's the issue. But when someone comes with a small budget and they know, or I have to tell them what their budget can do for them, that's when it works best.
Yeah,
because there's sometimes where someone wants to achieve something, you might need a certain piece of kit for it or something. So there's been cases where I'm so invested in the project that the money they give to me, I reinvest it into their video. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that also comes to play, like, time is money. You know what I mean? How much of my time is it going to take away for me to invest myself fully into this project? Am I going to get a payoff also? Do you know what I mean? Like a sick video, a sick concept. Or you get artists that just they just want the standard, the what I call it, the GRM filter. No, the standard GRM video. That apart from the car and the girl.
All of that, it just don't kill me. Yeah, no, for real, man. For real, bro. For real. All right, cool, man, bro. This has gone well over, but it's all good. Bro,
Yeah,
thanks for coming.
I wanted to ask something.
Yeah, sure.
How did you get into artist management? Because that's something I've been for a long time. And like what steps does one need to take to get into artist management? And are there things that, like, because I think anyone can just say, yeah, that's my artist, I manage them. But what is there, like, what are the first things that you should be doing?
Well, as an artist manager, you gotta believe in the artist first
to get into being the artist manager.
Oh, bro, that's gonna be a conversation that will be here until the cows come home. But I can give you obviously the information, but tonight's not about me. That's the only thing. I don't want it to be about me tonight. You know what I'm saying? I know there's bare people.
You're not trying to drop no gems. I hear you.
No, I am. Why do you think I'm doing this? Like, I do, but you know, it's not that time at the moment.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You're saying.
Do you get what I'm saying? At the moment, but like, hit me differently. Like,
yeah, now
we'll link
differently.
up anyway, when this is thing. Just hit me differently, and yeah, we'll catch up, man. 100%. Man. Yeah.
Alright, bro. Thanks for having me, man.
Alright, bro. Love for coming on, man.
Love.
I'll shout you, yeah.
In a bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, cool, man. Time for our last guest, man. Where's Terry, man? Terry, send me a request, my brother. Send me a request. Last one of the night. Last one of the night, man.
Sweet like Indomie. Should I get you on Insta? But you acting like you don't know. You're so contagious, yeah. With a great move, so contagious, yeah. You acting like you don't know. You're so juicy. Take a picture like movie. You know I'm so choosy. But just such a cutie. You're so juicy. Take a picture like movie.
Yo.
You say, bro?
What's going on, bro? Sorry for the wait, man.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good still.
Sorry for the wait, you know. You know, it gets Instagram keeps locking me off, but move.
Say that again.
So Instagram keeps locking me. I think it locks off every hour or something.
Yeah. No, I see that still. But
yeah,
man. No, it's been informative still. So big up you for doing the platform in it, and the other guys for coming on.
Yeah, of course, man. And big up for you not even coming in. Do you get what I mean? And obviously taking your time. I know we're in quarantine right now, so everybody's doing much right now. But no, it's still good to drop some gems on the people that are coming through, because, as I said, I was once in people's position where coming in the game, obviously trying to learning off people, shadowing people, whatever. So it's important that now I'm in a better position to give my knowledge, as well as passing it down through the ranks and whatnot, the people that obviously need it. Do you get what I mean? I never really had that when I was kind of coming up in the game. Do you get what I mean? I had to kind of do it more the hard way, as I'm sure you know what I'm saying. But yeah, man, without further ado, man, artist manager, A&R Consultant for Asylum, which is obviously an imprint of Atlantic, and artist manager for Tion Wayne and Darko.
Yeah.
Yo, bro. Come on, man. Give the man some goddamn credit, man. Where to even start, man? There's so much to go through. But how do you even manage both of them at the same time? How would you even manage two acts that are doing obviously well? How would you manage both of them at the same time?
Yeah, I just think like for the most part, you just gotta sort of like just about planning your time a lot, like scheduling and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, you gotta rely on the other people around you as well to obviously chip in, and obviously that sort of helps as well. And but yeah, man, just gotta trust those around you, and obviously you just gotta be on top of everything, innit? But at the same time, you know, if it's something that you're passionate about doing, like it don't feel like a chore. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you don't mind the long days or like the hours or the long journeys. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Yeah, it doesn't kind of one feel like a role. It doesn't really feel like a job, should I say? It just feels like it's something you love doing. It's your passion. You're just getting on with it. So even though all right, you've got two acts and obviously that are doing really well, it's obviously it's dedicating your time to where it's kind of needed in the best of areas, to be honest, because obviously people see it as when your artists are doing well, it's gonna be enjoyable, but it's not always been that. You know what I'm saying? You've obviously been around from beforehand. You didn't just inherit these artists. You've obviously been along their journey from Wade with them. So it's not always been all plain sailing in terms of everything's cool, they're both doing well, because you still need to deal with all the stuff behind the scenes. Do you get what I'm saying? That not a lot of people actually know. As for a manager myself as well, that there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, not just in terms of following them everywhere, they're doing a show, all the stuff that comes all before that. Do you get what I mean? So for me, it's a fact that how long have you even been managing Darko? Because not a lot of people know Darko's history. She's obviously, people know her from Gangster, thinking that she's a new artist, but she actually isn't. She's been releasing music well beforehand. So how long have you even been a part of?
So like you said, like she's been doing music for a couple of years. So yeah, she's been putting out a lot of tunes, but me and her only started working together from last year. But yeah, man, it's been good. Like she's like, you know, passionate about her music. Do you get what I'm saying? She knows where she wants to go. Yeah, man, she's got a lot of desire. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she's like, even big up AJ. You had him on here as well. Like, you know,
of course, man. Big up AJ every time, man.
They got good chemistry and that. That's how obviously they came together to make Gangster and that. So it worked well, and obviously like that went on to do really well in the UK and abroad as well. So
so millions of streams. Obviously, you went silver, all of that stuff there. So like, it's brilliant. Like, let's be real. But yeah, so I just wanted to let people know as well that a lot of people don't realize that she made music before Gangster. You know, she's always got songs with Brenya and so forth. And she started from her own. She's doing her own channel stuff from back then as well.
Yeah. Like she's been doing it, like putting music out on her own channel. So obviously when it came to like dropping Gangster and stuff, and obviously the conversation sort of like came up, like, raw, like what channel should we do? Like, obviously you've already built your channel from back in the day, so you know it's not a problem to say cool, take the risk and go do it, because you've been building that. You know what I'm saying? So
you've been doing that.
That worked in her favor as well.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like the track was going to do well regardless, but it made more sense, and I think it was more of an achievement, it going on her channel rather than a GRM or something, so people can say, I only done well because I went on GRM. So for her to have amassed the views and, you know, the success of it on her own channel was astounding. Like, let's be honest, you know. So big up to her as well. So in terms of Tion, how long have you been managing Tion?
Well, probably that. Cause we grew up together. So like, obviously he was like, even doing music for time, like what, like 10 years, probably for more. But obviously I started getting to a point. So I'll probably say like 2013, 2014. I feel like the first video we did together would have been Still Me, and that came out in 2014. So yeah, a bit longer. It's coming up to like 6 years in August. So yeah, quite a long time still.
And obviously you've been a part of his all the projects, the Wayne Worlds, the tours and all of that. So how has that been in terms of, because I know that most tours or headline shows that he does, he flipping sells them out. So how what's the process of that? And this is giving advice for managers as well, who are obviously trying to get into that same position. How do you manage that as well in terms of obviously headline shows or mini tours, you know, projects, you know, all the leading up to the projects as well, you know, campaigns, you know, Tion wasn't always with a label, so this is always going to be something that you was involved with from early, without label support as well. So how do you shape that together in terms of projects and mini tours or headline shows and then things there?
Yeah, I think so. I think first starting with like the projects and stuff. Like cool, when we was doing it independent, obviously I feel like you need to like working closely with a distributor is important. That's the most important thing to obviously get your music out on like Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. So yeah, so obviously you build the conversations with the distributors, let them know that you've got this project coming and start the conversation. You obviously need to give it to them in enough time. So obviously because they pitch it on your behalf. So obviously they'll speak to people at Apple Music and Spotify and, you know, try to get your songs up in the playlist and stuff. And then, so obviously once you got the date sort of locked in, then you just start building the campaigns around there. You might want to go for a lead single or two in advance, you know, like there's not a set formula when to like drop your lead single. Like, you know, if you want to do it a week before, you know, some artists do it a month before, some do it the night before, you know what I'm saying? So it's just about obviously having sort of like building a conversation. So yeah, I think talking about Wayne's World 2, which we did independent, I think we did Murder Lifestyle like a month before we dropped the project. And then so that was the lead single for that project. And then the project came and it did well, man. I remember when it dropped, like, I was climbing the iTunes charts and all this, like, I was getting mad. So it was sick, like, but yeah, man, like I said, so obviously it just initially started a conversation with the distributors and that helped.
Yeah, and it's important as well. I want to touch on it as well, but people that don't know as well, when you mentioned about talking to distributors within enough time to get your songs obviously on playlists, and people, like, you can't speak to distributor on a Monday for a release that's coming out on Friday and expect it to hit a playlist. It's just not going to work. These things are done weeks in advance, so that's hence the reason why you need to do it well in advance to give them time to pitch it, because the playlists are not done week by week. These are done in advance. So that's important. That's maybe something that some people didn't know, but it's about building that conversation and maintaining that relationship. You know what I'm saying? I've touched on it a few times in terms of networking and maintaining relationships with what we call gatekeepers. You know what I'm saying? And especially these people, these pluggers or someone from label services, it's important to maintain that relationship, especially if you're independent and you've got to do it yourself. It's important to maintain those relationships 100%. So yeah, man, obviously that done well. In terms of when it comes to projects and stuff, not projects in terms of like tours or headline shows, were these done through live companies, or was it put on yourself? You know, or within the team?
I think so. When we've like sort of like first started, a few years ago, like it wasn't just sort of like the same as it was now. Like, so like the booking agents existed, but it wasn't a thing where like they wasn't working with everyone from the scene, sort of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, like now, like an artist will come through and then a booking agent will grab them and like really early on. It wasn't like that. Like we were doing everything ourselves for like 2, 3, 40, quite a while before we like actually, you know, joined the booking agent. So I think the first one we did was in Dingwalls in like Camden. So that was all us, like from, you know, organising it, like getting the date booked in, dealing with the venues and all that kind of stuff. And that was sick. I think like that capacity was like 600 people in it. That sold out. A lot of artists came through, like, you know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the artists who were like established now all came through, but it was like a little sweatbox. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the glamorous Brooks or like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it was just all like bare man on stage and it wasn't polished, like, but the fact that like everyone was still, there was just good vibes in it, because bro, that at that time, yeah, like no one was really doing polished shows like that, innit? So the fact that it went well, and you know the supporters came out, and you know, I think the project hadn't even been out for that long, innit? And everyone still knew all the lyrics and stuff, so that was sick. And then obviously moving on down the line, obviously like I said, working with booking agents and stuff, they were sort of like connect the dots for like your promoters, and obviously they know all like the venues and stuff, so they can reach out to like a Coco or like a Brixton or whatever, and then obviously, you know, just sort of like continue to grow and build a team and stuff. That sort of obviously puts you in a better position to do the like the more polished shows and stuff.
100%, because you made a good point there. Back then, booking agents weren't really swiping people from our scene like that.
Yeah.
They were, but not early on. You had to be doing.
Yeah.
You know,
They was almost trying to stay away, because obviously they didn't like them times. They didn't really know, like, obviously, cool. They're looking at past sort of like black music and sort of like the connotations attached. You know, sometimes they might see it as being negative and stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? So obviously, like, they had to sort of understand that, like, it wasn't like always. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They have to see what we was doing and people putting on shows
100%.
and seeing that things were working well before they actually sort of like jumped on board, and then like, then obviously as they saw things were going well, you know, all the booking it, they all started jumping on and started working with like a lot of the artists that are in the scene now.
100%. I just feel like it's the same with labels, which we'll get onto in a sec. But it's just they almost had to F with the scene, or miss out. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's you know, and I said I'll get onto the label thing in a second, but it was almost like, no, like we need to start getting in with these urban acts, having labeled us back then. We need to start getting urban acts, because people, when you're putting on your own shows, like yourself, you're putting on a show, if it sells out, you know, they're seeing all this. They're thinking, yo, we need to get involved. We need to get involved. So I feel like by artists or teams breaking the barriers by doing it themselves, these booking agents almost had to fall in line and jump on board, or they just miss out.
Yeah.
So
100.
I you know, I salute to obviously the early artists who was able to do that way back then. Do you get what I'm saying? Which was obviously vitally important. But in terms of then obviously times moving on, you get a booking agent, you're able to do bigger shows, which obviously we sold out Brixton, right?
Yeah. That was last year, October. Yeah, that was part of the tour. So that was in like 3 days as well. So that was sick.
And for those who don't know what Brixton holds 5,000 people. So for that, you know, Tio has been known for obviously selling out, you know, these things. But I feel like it's good, and he wasn't really doing it often like that either. I feel like he wasn't doing much of those sort of kind of shows or headlines, where when he did do it, hence the reason why it sold out so quick, which was good. But yeah, cool. So moving to more of the label side. So obviously playing a consultant role at Atlantic or Asylum. How's that going? Tell me about that.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's you know, it's been going well. Like you said, like obviously that came about from just like you said, like the whole like having a network, you know, keeping in touch with people, like you said, you know, just, you know, building a relationship and a trust with people, and then it sort of just developed from there. And yeah, man, it's been good. Been learning a lot. Obviously, it's quite different to the whole sort of like management side of things, because like, you know, management is focusing on one or two artists, and you know, your artists, like that, you know, when you're from a like management perspective, like artists are like, yeah, I want to do this song, like I want to do that song, like, you know, and just about working towards the release and making the release work. Whereas like, you know, for like our record label, you know, it's more about finding the talent, or sort of
100%.
you know, working to make the records as well in a more detailed way. So yeah, man, it's a well it's quite different in it, but it sort of like gives a well-rounded sort of like experience of the whole scene overall.
Whole scene, because obviously, as you said, it is similar with management, but then it's different, because whereas management, I'm sure you can obviously trust people like Tion, people like Darko to go studio, make records, and then it's a thing of you just liaising with the team. Oh, we should go with this one, we should go with that one, and whatnot. Whereas A&R sometimes it's different. You have to be a part of, obviously, even finding the talent first and foremost. And if you do end up signing that talent, then it's about the development and help creating those records as well. So maybe it is more going to the studio. Maybe it is, I think this works. I don't think this works. Maybe I think you should go with this producer. Maybe work with a writer. Maybe, you know, there's a lot more, I feel like, hands-on in terms of when you go down the A&R field more than the management role, especially when you've got artists that don't really need your help in studio. They just
Yeah.
do you get what I'm saying? But at the same time, you still have an ear for what sounds good and what doesn't, what you think will work, what you think won't work. Do you get what I'm saying? Just from previous experience. And that's why a lot of people like ourselves get into these roles from coming through different doors. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes it is management, sometimes it's people who are artists themselves, sometimes it's DJs. As we know, most of the top A&Rs are even old school DJs or whatnot. So I feel like it's just a different angle of getting into the scene as well, but it's totally different, if that makes sense, because when you sign an act, it's kind of all on you, innit?
No, 100. No, you're right.
You know,
Still, like,
you sign an act. You know, I'm making it sound a bit bad, but at the same time, you sign an act. You're the one that brought this act forward, so they're expecting you to really mash the work and put in the overtime with this artist to make sure that they do well for the label. Let's be honest. You get what I'm saying? Save the questions till later, guys. We'll come to them after. But in terms of artists that you would look to sign or you know, put through to people. I mean, we speak obviously of about artists that are going on right now that they're on here, but you know, A&R's talk as well. People for artists. You know, what do you think about, you know, it's not for me, but maybe something for you. How do you kind of approach it when you come to signing acts? Is it a genre thing? Is it what's hot? Is it something that you can sign early? Maybe get them for cheap, develop them, make them to someone. That's my thing. Like, that's what I'm more interested in, rather than signing what's hot and claiming success of that. That's my thing, but not everyone's like. But yeah, what's your sort of angle?
I think it sort of, it varies for like each record label has a sort of like a different approach, and obviously each sort of A&R has a sort of different approach as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if you want to have sort of like build a long-term career in the industry, and that, you obviously don't want to be known as like the A&R who signs artists and messes up their careers and stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, you want to be like working with artists long-term. And for me personally, it's like, it's more than just having one sort of like hit record now. Do you know what I'm saying? And then having nothing after. Like, and one thing I always tell artists that I chat to is like, no one around you can want it more than you. Do you get it? Like,
I live by that saying. I say that all the time.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, I can't be the one, like, you can't have a session booked and then you're not trying to go and then you're falling asleep, and it's like, yo, like, you must not want to do, you must clearly, like, this isn't what you're going to do. But I shouldn't be, like, you know what I'm trying to say? I shouldn't be, or your manager, or anyone shouldn't be having to be, like, calling you and telling you to wake up and go. You know what I'm trying to say? So, for one, that sort of stuff, like, but that sort of passion comes, you'll see it. Do you get what I'm saying? When you meet the artists and you're chatting to them, you know, that's clear, it's evident. Like, you know, like, all the artists to make it to the top are, you know, one, like, they're super passionate, they're, you know, intelligent as well, and like, they believe in themselves. So yeah, man, I feel like it's just that, obviously I feel like also a lot of it's instinct as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody in the world who can turn around and say, you know, they know what song's always going to be a hit. Like, it's impossible. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You can't dictate what the consumers are going to like. You know what I'm trying to say? It's impossible. Like, no one knows. Like, you know, some artists have probably gone to studio and made a song and think, yo, like, this song's going to change my life. It comes out and it doesn't do much in it. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that's important. You made a good point there, which I stick by as well, in terms of, like, your manager or your team cannot want this more than you. Because it just won't work. And people who I chat to regularly, whether I give people advice or whatnot, I tell them that all the time, like, yo, your artist, whoever you're working with, if you're managing a producer or a songwriter or an artist, you as management cannot want this more than the artist himself. You get what I'm saying? It shouldn't be, we haven't been studio in 3 days, we need to go studio. It should be the other way around. It should be the artist contacting management, like, yo, I haven't gone to studio in 3 days. Like, yo,
get me some sessions.
What's going on? Like, you got to pattern out some sessions. I need some sessions. So, you know, that's how it needs to be. Or if you're a producer, it shouldn't be a thing where, yeah, I'm going to try and speak to this person, that person, and get you in a, you know, it should be the producer shouting you like, yo, bro, where's the sessions at? I need some sessions. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to AJ earlier as well. He's just so, you know, even the success that he's had so far, he's still open. He's just still like, yo, like, I've had success, great. I want more. I want to work with people. I want to, and that's what I said to him. I said to him already previously, like, bro, you're going to be a big, massive producer because your mindset is, yo, like, for someone who's had success so early on, he's only 18. He's not on some arm on this high pedestal, like, no one can't hit me. Like, yo, hit me. Like, I want more success. Like, I'm ready to work, and even being signed like that, you know, doesn't matter. Let's do this thing, and that's why people like him will end up on top because of his mentality and his drive is still on 100.
That's ultimately what's gonna set him apart from like his peers, because obviously he's got that hunger and determination from a young age. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's got the talent as well. Do you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's like it's more than just the talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, probably, 100%. You know, like everyone can name an artist who's so talented but never really got anywhere. Whether that's, you know, like they probably other factors behind it, but you know that just shows it's not just always about the talent. You know, like there's always got to be more to it. Do you know what I'm saying? And the mindset is definitely one of the most important things still.
And the drive, man, it's important. Yeah. So in terms of people. Like, this conversation obviously gets put to us all the time in terms of people approaching us as A&Rs or us approaching them. Now, my thing is, let labels approach you. Let labels approach you. You know, we know how it goes. You know, people want to send stuff. Like, don't know, sometimes you maybe can, if it's an artist of a certain level when, you know, things are going on, it might be a bit different, but you want them to approach you. So people like myself, people like yourself, people who are in that same field, who's going to be the middle person between the artist and the label. We are those middle people. We're the ones that's maybe bringing this to the label and, you know, check this out. But do you still stick? Would you stick by that? That's how I stick. But would you give that?
I was going to ask you, why do you think that? Like, what's your reason in that?
What in terms of letting the label approach you?
Yeah.
Instead of you approaching the label.
Yeah. My
breakdown of that is, I feel like you then become more valuable if they're approaching you. Whereas if you approach them, then it's going to be like, don't worry, if you approach them with a record they think is going to do madness, you might. But by you approaching them, it's like, yeah, all right. They hold the cards. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if they approach you and you've got a song that's doing well, you know, we can even talk about the Darko record where you guys obviously released it independently. It was doing well. They then approached you. If you guys went to them before the record, it may not have been the same in terms of, you know, they might not have been as excited about it. They don't know what it's going to do. You know, money might not have been the same. So even that as an example of you guys putting it out yourself and the label approaching you, things have changed. You get what I'm saying? So that's my breakdown. If it was, do you think otherwise?
I think it's a bit of both, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? I think it's a bit of both, because like I said, like you also said, it also depends on like the where the artist is, like part of their career, like the stage of their career. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, like an up and coming artist who probably, you know, never like ever achieved, like, you know, like up and coming, like they probably feel like they ain't achieved much. Like, you know, they might be overlooked. Like an A&R might not be on their page. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Trying to like listening to their music, but you know, they can put themselves on the radar like that. Or that works. Like, you can hear something like, yo, this artist is sick. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Which they probably may never have like achieved if they didn't put their music forward. Do you know what I'm saying? So like that also works. But you know, both, you know, it's good. At the same time, if the A&R sort of digs in and comes to find you, you know, he's probably gonna like try and hold on to you for dear life at the same time.
Of course,
you know what I mean?
of course.
Yeah, but it's just like I said, it's just like it's a varied approach, isn't it? It depends on each artist is different for each artist. And
no, 100%. I think every scenario is different, and I'll touch on the subject again in terms of like some people just even have music there. They haven't even tried to do anything themselves. They haven't tried to put it out. They haven't even got a video for the songs that they want to put out. They're just thinking, oh yeah, I've got this song, I need to approach A&Rs. Do you know what I'm saying? Like with that mindset, you may not be as fortunate because then it's just like, what have you even done for yourself first?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you still, but do you know what it is? I feel like as an artist, yeah, like I feel like for me, like I don't know, I feel like talking from like a manager's hat on, yeah, I don't feel like you should be thinking, oh, I want to make music for it to get signed. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like
100%.
you should be making music that you think is sick or that represents you or what you want to do, not what you feel like, oh yeah, someone's gonna sign this for X amount of money. Because, do you get what I'm trying to say? Because like that's when you get the A&Rs who are probably gonna try and sign you for, you know, everyone's just in it for a quick buck.
Of course.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? But if you're like, nah, like, I'm focused, like, you know what, like I want to drop a project that's got like, you know, 26 songs and like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, this is just me. I feel free. Like, I'm comfortable. If after I've dropped this project, labels want to sort of like get involved and try to sign me up, then that's a conversation that can be had in it. But right now, I'm just working on me and I'm trying to develop as an artist.
100%. And I feel like, and just to add to that, it's a thing where people say, oh, how do you get a record deal? And I always tell people the best way to get a record deal is by not looking for one. You get what I'm saying? So as what you was talking about with just putting out your own music, doing what's best for you. If down the line it gets signed, then cool. But don't go looking for it. If, you know, focus on what you need to do within yourself first. You know, there's this, I feel like there's so much stuff you can do yourself now these days where you don't always need a label. You get what I'm trying to say? Even just being able to distribute your music, shoot videos, you can speak to PR companies, you can speak to publicists, you can speak to radio pluggers, you can speak to the DSP pluggers. Like, there's so much that you can do yourself, even without the label, that you can actually just still do your own thing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And if down the line they want to approach you, then so be it. Like, I know there's acts that have been out for 3 years and they've been grinding for 3 years, putting music out, videos, all that stuff there, and they're still not been approached by a label. And then there's someone who's been doing music, putting out music for 3 months and been approached by a label. Like, everyone's journey is different.
Yeah, 100%. And also, I think like not every artist is made to be signed to a label as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, some artists want the flexibility of wanting to drop a song every month. Like, you know, like it depends where you are. Like, you know, if like you're new up and coming artist, like you don't want to potentially sign a song and then now you've got to wait another 6 months to drop your next song. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because that's probably going to slow down your momentum. And like the way the scene moving now, like everyone's dropping music so frequently and new artists are coming. You know what I'm trying to say? You probably want to have the flexibility of like, look, like I want to be able to drop a song today and then maybe do something next month, but in a smart way. So it's not like do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
so
not flooding it
like everyone, like, just depends on where you are in your career and like what you feel like you need to do. And like I said, mate, there's no script. You know what I'm saying? If you look at every artist like who's at the top of the scene right now, not all of them, not everyone's got the same deal. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Everyone's got different sort of deals. Some are independent, some have been in deals longer, but like, you know, they're still at the top. They'll still find a way to the top. You know what I'm trying to say? So
there's no, I don't think there's any formula to blow.
Yeah, there's not.
There's just not any formula. And people say, oh, how do you blow? There's no formula. If you go to 10 people's stories who are doing well, everyone's story is due to be different. No one's going to say to you, them same 10 people ain't going to say, we all was on the same journey and this is how we all blew. You get what I'm saying? Everyone's journey is different, so there's no formula. You've got to just do what obviously works for you and make sure that you've got the drive. Make sure that you've got a good team around you as well that know what they're doing as well. Knowledge is free, research is free. You know, research your things so that you can give the right advice to your artists. Well, I think a lot of managers try and come into this, oh, I can manage an artist. Yeah, I want to manage you, but they don't know nothing.
Yeah. But like even on that though, I feel like I can't lie. I didn't come into the game knowing much. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I feel like I had the hunger to want to learn that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I wanted to know what would make me like a good manager in the game, or like, I think that's what's important in it, because like there's no you can't go like, you know, there's no book like, oh, how to become, you know, there's probably books, but it's different to real life. You know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
you know, like like I said, every manager's, like every artist is so different. So like, cool, my experiences that I've had with Tion is gonna be completely different to what I'm gonna experience with Darko. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like they're two different people and they're two different artists. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's just like there's no script. So anyone who wants to sort of get involved and jump on, cool, you gotta like, go for it, innit? But you just gotta know that like you need to be putting everything you got into in it. Like it's not a you know, like the clock never stops in it. Like, bro, you can get a call at like 1 a.m. or 2, like something mad. But you, I'm trying to say, it's not like a normal. You just gotta want it.
Yeah,
it's
not normal not a normal 9 to 5 in it. Like it's a never ending job, and you're always at it. And that's what me and I think Michael, the lawyer earlier, would say that a lot of you Stormzy, for example, like most artists and managers in the urban scene, we never came with any experience, but because you had the hunger, because you had the drive, because you wanted to be that guy, that manager, and you know that I think plays a big part with artist success as well.
Yeah, 100.
Aside from the talent, as you were saying, there's so much more that goes into it than just the artist's talent. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, you've got to want this just as bad as them. Like they want to be a success, but you as a manager need to be successful as well.
Yeah, of course. Like even for someone to trust you with their career is not a like, you get what I'm trying to say. That's like important because like, you know, everyone they're not trying to not everyone wants to do something in their, you know, with their life or with their music. So they're not gonna, if someone's trusting you to manage them and help them with their career, like you got to take that as a big responsibility, innit?
100%.
And another thing I was going to mention is that like even in terms of like coming into the game and stuff, like I learned a lot from my peers or like those that were around, innit? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like those who were sort of like managing other artists within the scene at the same time. You know, everyone was all trying to learn together, innit? Like you're trying to do something, it might not work. They're doing something, it might not work. Then it works. Then it's like you cool, like like everyone's all learning together, innit? But it's like it's not like in a competitive way, innit? It's just like the knowledge is free. You feel me? Like everyone's all like one manager making it ain't taken away from another manager making it. Like everyone's all there's more than enough for everyone, innit? You got what I'm trying to say?
There's definitely space for everyone, man. It's just how bad you want it, man.
Yeah,
so last question, we've been going for a while. I'm hoping you guys are taking notes right now. I know you guys are thinking, man, you get me, but it's all good. So in terms of any, we kind of touched on it, but up and coming artists right now, you know, just aside from the label situation, because we play both fields, we play artist manager side, we play A&R side as well. But what advice could you give to artists who are coming up now in this sort of where the scene is right now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What advice do you think you can give to artists right now, looking how the scene is shaped at the moment?
Like I feel like obviously right now, like the scene's in like the best place it's ever been. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like there's now is the greatest time to, aside from just be music, like just like a black British, you know what I'm trying to say? It's just there's so many opportunities, so many things going on. But I just one thing I feel like is important. I just feel like you should never feel like you need to you just gotta stay. First thing you gotta do is always stay true to yourself and your craft and your art and your music, and the rest of it will just sort of fall into place. Like I don't think you ever need to go looking to feel like you need to fit in anywhere within the scene. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like because once you start doing that, that's when people are gonna start comparing you to the next artist. Like, yo, like you're trying to be like him. You're trying to be like that artist. But one thing to note is that like every single artist has got their own unique point. You know what I'm trying to say? And like I think that's very important to identify at the start of your career. Like what do you want to be? What do you want to represent? You know, you've got artists who talk about, you know, selling drugs. You got the artists that talk about women. You got the artists who are, you know, wearing ballies. You got what I'm trying to say? Like, what do you want to represent? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So once you've identified that, then I think it just makes the whole thing easier because you know it probably cuts through in your music. You know, when like just even the way you just carry yourself in it, and then that's what's gonna make the people warm to you and gravitate towards you rather than you having to sort of like go out and change your, you know, your persona or like anything about you to try and get fans. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like chasing fans is not the way to do it. Like everything's got to be try and make things as like organic as possible.
Organic has to be organic. Don't go chasing it, man. All right, cool, man. Just to end up, man, we'll open up a couple questions. We'll open up a couple questions, so you guys can fire your questions right now for the last 10 minutes or so. But how do you start looking appealing as a first-time manager? That's a good question.
It's a good question still. Boy.
Why you think about it? I reckon it also depends on obviously who you approach. Yeah, a lot of us that are in this scene approach people who we actually personally know, rather than reaching out to someone that we've never met. Obviously, it's going to be a lot more harder if you don't know the person and you haven't done anything in the music industry. It's going to be a bit harder, let's be honest. So it's a good question, but I feel like a lot of first-time managers stick to what, someone within their vicinity that they know. Do you know what I'm saying? First, and then hopefully they may have a little bit of success, and then maybe you can start to branch out. But from when I ask people in the industry, it's always, I started with my brethren, I started with my little cousin, or I started with my sister, or I started with that, and then obviously you get, you slowly build your way back up. But
like you said, like I don't know if you ask most artists not most artists, but like most artists in the scene, like I said, none of us went to uni to say we're going to become a music manager. Like I said, me and Tion grew up together. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that's how it became. Like, I'm sure like there's multiple artists and managers who can say the same sort of thing. So I think, like, for one, you just got to show the artist that you're just as passionate about them, about what 100%. what they sort of like their career and where you think they can go. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I know it's not easy, because especially nowadays, because like, there's been a lot of like, like people like us, for example, who have like been in the scene for a bit longer. If you see an artist that's popping, for example, you might feel like, the artist might not look at their friend in the same way and be like, yo, like I can go and get a more established art manager. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
At the same time, that might not be the right thing, because you need your manager to be like almost crazy about you. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, to the point where like, everything they like you and the artist ain't even got to communicate, and you know what your artist wants. You know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like that's important, because like, even I feel like, that's another thing. That's another thing I feel like I've got with my relationship I've got with my artists. Like, I feel like, I know each of their vision, to the point where if someone asks me, yo, where does Tion want to be in 5 years? I'll know what to say.
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say? If someone's like, where does Darko want to be in 5 years? I'll know what to say, and I won't need them to be in the room, but I'll know the answer, because like we've worked together enough, and we're all on the same page to sort of like try and get to, like, you've all got to be trying to get to the same goal, innit? If your manager's like, like, for example, drop a project next week, and they're like, no, I want to hold off like till next year, I don't think I'm ready, and you got what I'm trying to say? You just all got to be on the same page collectively, innit? But like I said, it's also about sharing ideas as well. You got what I'm trying to say? Because like, nobody has all the answers. Like, no manager knows all the answers. No artist knows all the answers. That's why it's part of a team, innit? You just got to keep sharing ideas and
keep bumping heads. And like, even though we're in the position that we're in, we still learn. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's people that have been in the game 20 years that can still learn. So I feel like you can never stop learning as well. So, nobody knows it all, let's be honest. Whoever said they do the chatting crap, nobody knows it all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, everyone's still learning. It's part of the journey. Shows. Any tips on securing shows? Is it just better to create your own instead, not jumping on someone else's team?
What? Sorry.
So probably in terms of like, is it shows? Any tips on securing shows? Is it better to just create your own show instead of jumping in on someone else's team?
I don't know. Like, I think if they're like referring to like bookings and stuff, obviously it's not easy to get bookings as an up and coming artist, because like, like everyone's gonna want to bring in an artist that can probably bring in a crowd for the event. But obviously there's still ways to sort of like, there's open mic events and all that kind of stuff. Like, people are always looking. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, that's one thing I feel like it's important to know. Like, people are like always like looking. Like, creating your own show, like, it's a challenge, innit? I don't know, especially like if you're up and coming artist, you might not have the funds. Like, it's not going to be easy to create your own show without a backing or some sort of income from the music or outside. So yeah, I think, like I said, you just got to keep pushing. I know it just sounds mad. It just sounds mad, like cliche.
No, it does.
But that's literally it. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you just literally got to keep pushing, putting the music out there, and like things will just gravitate towards you. Like you ain't gotta go looking at store.
I think, and just to add to that question there, I think if you're somebody who can bring a crowd, then maybe you can, because if you feel like, okay, I'm going to invest X amount of money into putting on my own show, but I know I can bring a crowd in and either make my money back, or even if it's a small loss just for the exposure, then maybe you can. But if you're not totally sure about bringing in a crowd, then it's not really, doesn't make sense for you to try and put on your own show, because it's just going to be a loss. But as Terry said, obviously open mic nights, coming out, opening up for people, little talent shows, even just small little bar performances that's got 30, 40 people in the crowd, just I feel like just build up your audience, innit? Build up your audience so that I can bring in a little decent crowd, but don't try and go and get a 250 cap show knowing that you can bring 10 people in. It's just going to be a waste of money.
Yeah, like just on two other things you said. Like, firstly, I feel like it's important to know your fan base as well. Like, cool. Let's say, for example, like you started putting out music and you're getting like, I don't know, like 500 streams or whatever. You probably think it would probably be a bit too premature to sort of start looking to sort of like do your own shows. You got what I'm trying to say? And I don't think that Spotify and that you can actually see like your, like if you got artists for Spotify, you can actually see like like your fans, their ages.
And where they're listening from as well.
You know what I'm trying to say? And that kind of stuff might help as well. And secondly, I feel like you mentioned opening up for artists as well. Like that's also quite important as well, because let's say a more established artist that or might have connections to doing a show, you might ask him like, yo, like, can I open up for you? Like that kind of stuff, just being on the stage that people might, like that might be the first time people hear your song, you being on that stage, you know what I'm saying? And then they might Shazam it and might go home like, yo, who's this? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's just another way. You just got to be a fan of getting out there.
Yeah, man. We're dropping some gems for y'all tonight. Would you guys say that it's a bad idea for an up-and-coming artist to be managed by a manager who is managing 4 other artists?
Like, obviously, it depends. Like, if all 4 artists are like global superstars, then obviously clearly he's probably not gonna have that much time to focus on you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But at the same time, you might be able to lean on certain things that or the network that they've got that might be able to help you. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just think like, obviously the number's important in it, because you might not get like enough love or focus on yourself. But if they can actually offer you a lot and help take you to the next step of your career, then like I said, every situation is different.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't really just say yes or no.
100%. There's one Valen. What's the best open mics for up and coming artists? I Love Live was good but no longer exists. Shout out Jade, man, who owns that, man. Real legend. At the top of my head, I don't think I definitely don't have it at the top of my head. It's just about research. It's about getting on the internet, speaking to other musicians, speaking to producers, just doing your research on terms of open mic nights. They're always out there. There's obviously not now, but when after the pandemic, there will 100%. There's going to be a lot of them going on. Even beforehand, there's open mic nights probably on every day of the week, whether it's North, East, South London, West London. I don't know where you're from, if you're from London or not, but they're out there. I think it's just based on research in terms of open mic nights, but they're most definitely out there. 100%.
No, 100 and that. Like, sometimes it's not all about the glamorous shows, man. Like at the start, you're gonna be doing shows that aren't like, they're not the greatest shows or whatever. But cool, that's just all part of the journey and sort of like organically building your fan base as well. So yeah,
it's important. Got a question from Tion Wayne. What's the best way to distribute your music and get on good playlists?
Yeah, so that's through like the distributors. So like you got like Ditto Music and TuneCore, etc. Obviously, so like I said, building a relationship with people at them sort of places. Letting them get your music a few weeks in advance. They go out and sort of like reach out to people at like Spotify, Apple Music, and the rest, and that sort of helps get your music on the playlist as well. So yeah, but at the same time, like if you've got like a manager on your team who might know some of these people, you can also use that for some sort of leverage. Like they might be able to have some conversations for you. for you, you know, like on your behalf in terms of like getting your music on a place. Obviously, I'm not saying go bombard someone, like sending them 1,000 emails or whatever to make sure your song gets on a playlist. You get what I'm trying to say? But at the same time, like I feel like Tia knew the answer to that already, dog. So
of course, Tia knew the answer to that. That's why he asked it, and he said, "And do you need a record label to make your song organically?" But the question cut off, probably to make your song organically blow up.
Yeah. Nah, like you don't need a record label. Like I said, like me, like for example, like going back to working with Tion, we was independent for a good 2 years before we signed. Do you get what I'm saying? And that was just us, like just putting out our own music and crafting away and stuff. So yeah, it's not necessary. Like I said, there's artists at the top who are independent. Do you get what I'm saying? So it just depends for each artist.
Yeah, 100. Thanks to that. This question here, I know I think Courtney's been on to me for it. What was the hardest part about starting off without any experience as a manager? Can't see the rest of the question, by the way.
Yeah, I can see it. And how did you overcome it? I think the hardest part. What's the hardest part? But I was just trying to kick down the doors. Like I said, like them, like a few years ago, like the scene wasn't how it is now. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it was just like you're just forcing, and like I said, nobody knew where the scene would get to now. So it was just almost like crafting away and just hoping and just like having faith in yourself and the artist and trying to like that they'll know, like obviously I know, like, you know, like I got faith in my artists. You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm not gonna be wasting my time if I didn't think that they could become like superstars, you know, which you know, you know what I'm trying to say? So obviously that's why, so having that, I think like that self belief when no one else believes in you is probably like the hardest thing at the start. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because one, you don't know where this is gonna end up. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But you're still putting in the hours, like. But you know, like I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges still.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Right, cool. Let me a couple more questions, man. We've been at it. Cleona, you should join the panel on Wednesday, and I've got a publisher that's going to be coming in, and he can answer all of those questions. But that publisher will probably be the best person to answer that question. So come and join me on Wednesday, and we'll answer that. How much should someone expect to spend on PR? Of course, it depends on what have you experienced and what type of service should be expected. Should get someone from PR these panels as well, isn't it?
It's hard, man. Obviously, like it depends on the like you said, it depends on the budget as well. But like you just gotta know PR company. Like for one thing like I used to do is just like look at who the PR companies worked with before. Like
on their roster.
It's like, and it's all good. Them putting like American artists and XYZ, yeah, that's all cool, but like, you know, UK artists aren't American artists. Do you know what I'm trying to say? What we need is something different. So I think looking at their roster is important to see what they can help, and then maybe sort of like researching the campaigns that they worked on, whether you think it's useful. Like I said, every artist is different. You know what I'm trying to say? What one artist needs is not what another artist is going to need.
One is, yeah, 100%. Whoever asked that, hit me on DM. I'll give you a couple PR companies that are really respected in over here and worked with some of the biggest UK acts. So yeah, hit me and I'll patent that for you. But yeah, bro,
yeah,
for a minute. I know there's been hella gems in here tonight. I know people them are appreciating this in here right now. But
not all good, man.
Wednesday, I should be back for another panel, whole new lineup, different fields again. Publishing, distribution, the list goes on. Just look out for it, and we go again on Wednesday, man. Tell you,
love for getting me on, man. Love everyone asking questions.
Man. I have to save the best for last.
Love.
I'm gonna get at you though, man. Same way, bro.
Yeah, cool, bro. Shout me, innit? Cool.
Yeah, Courtney, man, you gotta hit him about that, man. You gotta hit him about that. About shadowing. I think he's a busy guy though. You gotta hit him up. You gotta hit him up about that one, homie. You gotta hit him up about that one, man. But yeah, I've got a minute left before this locks off.
Pretty face, but lyrically I'm a beast. Sophisticated with a hint of some street. Concentrated and it keeps getting sweet. Take the spoon and you can't take the seat. I'm a mill, so
hope you don't enjoy that, man.
trying to build so I don't have any neighbors. And the next house is on a whole other street. We don't do gossiping cause it's weak. We don't do gossiping honestly. All I wanna hear was plans and results. If not, then I don't give a. Can you tell I ain't the patient type? Jumped on stage and I take the mic. Sorry if I came across nasty. I know two wrongs don't make it right. But deep down,
I haven't saved it, but my people has been recording it, so I'll do that. But it should be on my Insta now, and I'm gonna post it on my Insta. But yeah, I'm gonna record it, man. Whoever wants the video, hit me, man.